You're watching live from Navasota, Texas, the Snake Pit, where tonight the Navarro Panthers will take on the Navasota Rattlers. Stay tuned for the Panther football pregame show next. You're watching Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse.
The Navarro Panther Network would like to thank the Panther Posse and the following diamond sponsors for supporting Navarro ISD and this broadcast: Aaron's Dock and Marine Construction, Advanced Electrical Services, AFC Lease Service, Ameritex Pipe, Bar J Granite, Big League Car Wash, Black Castle Industrial Contracting, Birch Law Firm, CO Concrete, CEMEX, Claycomb Associates Architects, Clausen and Winters LLC, D&D Texas Outfitters, Intersol, First Commercial Bank, First United Bank, Seguin, Freiheit Country Store, Fagway Construction, Goldsco Concrete, Guadalupe County Farm Bureau Insurance, Guadalupe Regional Medical Center or Construction, Kirby's Corner, Luland Chevrolet Buick GMC. And then Micah Reynolds, Miller & Miller Insurance, Miss Tristan Foundation, Oakwell Private Wealth Management, Pecan Country Chiropractic, Perry Homes, Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, Redbird Construction, Rocket Aircraft Services, Sage Energy, Sign Crafters Incorporated, Summit Group, Texas Capital Bank, Texas Tractor Country, TKG Custom Homes, TMT Solutions, Mandrill Energy, Vendetta AC. And a special thanks to Monticello Art Film Design for the production of this broadcast. Go Panthers!
Welcome to Navasota. 92 degrees outside. I can't imagine a better place to be than Navasota, Texas right now. Winds out of the south about 5 miles an hour. Welcome, Hank.
Well, we're back. Here we are in the start of another great football season with the Navarro Panthers. I know we've kind of switched networks and done a little different things, but I have to say, real quick, kudos to the Panther Posse for putting all this together. So, man, I'm excited. I couldn't be more excited. I'm telling you, Lance. So tell us, Lance, you've got a son on the football team like I did a couple of years ago. So now you have a little bit of insight. So I want to hear a little bit of insight on that Panther team you have.
So the Panther team this year, so the last 3 years we've had Mr. Nick Billings. Shout out to Nick Billings. He has moved on, graduated, but we have a new quarterback. And his name is Bryce Nall. And he's a baseball player, two-sport athlete. We feel like Bryce can locate and make passes like none others. And we have a good stable of running backs. Not only what I love about these running backs this year is we have a backfield that will not only hit you, but they will run around you. They will run through you. And we have an offensive line that will absolutely run you over. The junior class has been known to be the ones that get locked into the weight room. They are the ones that work overtime, and we have a great offensive line, which is the stable of our slot T offense. So on the offense, I think that we're going to look at for all those type of things. On the defense, should be the strength of our team. The strength of our team should be 7 to 8 returning starters, Hank.
Wow.
And if they didn't start last year, they played a bunch. So I think we've got a bunch of kids that are ready to play and ready to go. And so we're excited for the season.
Wow. Yeah, I am too. After losing that heartbreaker, to Cuero, oh my goodness, having a chance to go to the semifinals only for the second time in school history. And that was the one of the closest regional finals in the state quarterfinals that we played in a long time. And I'm telling you, that was a fun game. And I'm hoping to see, how much that hurt, because it was that close, to see if that fire is lit with this Panther team and see if that fire can come out tonight and really explode and take it to Navasota Rattlers, because Navasota Rattlers, I don't think they're going to be ready for what they're about to see tonight. And that's just my gut feeling. And we'll see, because we've never played Navasota in Navasota.
Never.
We played them. Yeah, we played them a couple of years ago in the playoffs. We beat them 28-7 in Giddings. And then that was a fun game too, but Navasota never really had a chance. And I think the same, and I'm already giving away I'll just wait on that. Okay.
No, you're exactly right. In that game, it was in the mist and the rain. It was in Giddings, Texas. It was, we played them and we almost beat them down a little bit here and there, with our offensive line, and played classic slot T offense, right?
Right.
So,
well, I tell you what, let's jump over to Navasota, the Rattlers. And, they seem to have this group of quarterbacks. And I say group, it's only two, a duel, I should say, of quarterbacks. You got a running quarterback, which we found out tonight is starting. And that's, I always get his name wrong, but it's Javen.
So he had a brother, right?
Javen Jesse, yes. Yeah, but Javen Jesse is going to be starting tonight, and he's the running quarterback. And I think Coach Adakis wants to get started with him so he can move the ball from, the quarterback to the running backs, because their running backs, are going to be, something to be, desired as well.
Yeah, a lot of speed at the running back position. The quarterback is a sophomore. He's got a ton of speed that can kill you in one play. And the thing is remember, they were a Division II 4A team, and they moved up.
Right.
To Division I. Last year they finished 5-6. They had a first round exit. They lost to our good friends over in Wimberley.
Wimbo, huh?
Right. But hey, listen, we're in the snake pit.
Right.
This program is traditionally a powerhouse, right?
They've got something the Navarro Panthers don't have.
Right.
And that's 2 state championships back 2012, and then 2014, I believe it was.
Yes.
And those two, they got the big old state over there, with all for both those years, and that's something they take pride with. And that's something that stays here, in their house. So that's the only thing I fear for these Panthers coming into this snake pit, is that tradition, and they're going to be out and ready to bite.
Right. And exactly. We saw the statue coming in, right? Or the 2 statues coming into the stadium this afternoon. And so let's talk a little bit about their team. They've on offense, they're looking at about 3 seniors, 7 juniors, and a sophomore, but they throw the ball about 60% of the time, and they run the ball about 40% of the time. So I feel like the Panthers have a good opportunity if we can play some good, solid defense. In the first 2 scrimmages, Hank, we have intercepted the ball 7 times. Yeah. Between the 2 scrimmages, so I feel like our secondary could be up to measure, but we'll find out tonight. On the defense, they usually play a 3-3 stack, but I think against the slot T, they're probably going to go into a 5-3 against us. They're strong up the middle, nose tackle, strong middle linebacker, and a strong safety. So I think right up the middle is the strength of their defense. Their best player is going to be number 0. Friend Kedrick Powell. He's a junior. He's about 6'2", 190. He plays on the edge. He'll line up in a stack linebacker position.
Right.
He's athletic, speed, everything you want, physical, fast off the ball. We're going to have to watch him all night long.
Yeah, and he's fast. It's not only that he's a big body, but he's got quick feet and he can get around the edge. And that's where I'm concerned about for the Panthers, is letting this young man get around the edge, and he comes around that edge and he meets either, Colton Chambers on that tailback position or quarterback on a bootleg. It could be devastating for the Panthers and turnovers, things like that. So that's what we want. We want to focus on that player, because you're going to see number 0 tonight, and we'll probably call his name a couple of times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, the only other player I would highlight would be a strong safety. He's a sophomore, but his name's Jared Osaya, number 4. He's very fast, aggressive, and he makes a ton of tackles. He runs the alley very well, and so we'll see him up the middle a ton. But I think the Panthers can exploit the outside.
Right.
I think if they can get outside, but remember, the biggest challenge tonight is speed, right? Navasota is traditionally
Always fast.
a ton of speed.
And good athletes, just
Great
overall.
athletes.
Yeah,
Great
athletes.
So,
So, all right. Well, I had a chance to talk to some of the coaches. The only thing I have to apologize for, one of the my mic I had used, experimental mic, didn't quite go well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play those 2 coaches' interviews. So bear with us, But I got Coach Blunt as well, and you're going to hear that on the second part of the interview. So if you don't mind, Lance, I'm going to go ahead and get those started, and we're going to listen to the coaches' interviews that I had earlier tonight with Coach Dacus of Navasota and then Coach Blunt of Navarro. Good evening. This is Hank Dietert of the Navarro Panther Network, and I'm coming to you live with Coach Casey Dacus. He is the head coach of the Navasota Rattlers. And, Coach, thank you for joining me this evening.
Sure thing. Glad to do it.
All right, Coach. Well, last season you went 5-6, and you lost in the first round to Wimberley Texans. And but you had a little bit of struggles last year. You had lost a quarterback and all, so that kind of hurt your offense. What are you looking forward to this year?
Being healthy. Last year we got, I guess, to the 5th game, we lost our starting quarterback. And really, he didn't come back into the very last game of district when we kind of phased him back in. And even then, after having laid off as long as he did, he wasn't quite the player he was before. And so when we lost him, we had to shuffle some pieces around. We ended up playing a sophomore kid last year named Hudson Miner, who did a really good job for us and is actually one of our 2 quarterbacks this year. So he got lots of valuable experience, but anytime you drop off from a senior leader to a sophomore, you're bound to take a little bit of a hit offensively, and we did. And then we just never could get over the hump. We seemed like we had injury after injury or bad break after bad break, and so one of the things we tried to focus on all offseason is creating our own breaks, and hopefully maybe tonight we'll start to see a little bit of the payoff of that. But playing against a team the quality of Navarro, that's going to be very difficult.
All right, Coach. So now on defensive side of the ball, I know you have some really good players coming back this year on your defense, but specifically I want to know is how do you slow down or how do you defend the slot T that Navarro runs?
Yeah, there's no real good way, to be honest with you. You spend all year and all offseason. We played Navarro a couple of years ago in a 3rd round game over in Giddings, and we felt like we played about as good as we could that night, to be honest with you, on defense. And I can't remember what the final score was. I think you got 24 or 28 points, somewhere in there. And we felt really good about that, But you look up at the time of possession, and y'all had the ball about, I guess, every 2 minutes we had it a minute maybe, So it's tough. You can load up, try to stop it, but then bootlegs and play action passes become dangerous. You play zone behind it, and then it becomes a little bit soft. You feel like you don't have enough force up there to be able to handle some of the slot T runs with buck sweep and lead and different things they do there. So it's a challenge for sure. And the other thing that makes it really difficult is not everybody runs it. You don't see it very often. So this is the first time we've seen a true slot T since we played you guys 2 years ago. Other people dabble in it, but nobody we play is as committed to it as Navarro is. So it's a heck of a challenge for us in a game 1, right out of the gate, because we got lots of young guys who this is their first time, and so this is going to be an interesting test for us.
Well, Coach, I know it's the first game of the season, but you're at home, so a lot of people call this, or y'all have called it the pit, and some call it the snake pit or the pit. But I think being at home is going to be very valuable to these younger players. But so now turning back to the other phase of the game, we're looking at the kicking game, and special teams. What do you think you have to do there in that phase of the game to be able to make it the difference maker? Let's say.
Well, we're going to have to be really sound in it, first of all. But we have to make sure that when we're kicking off, to Navarro, that we make them go the length of the field. We can't give them short fields. And so, I think a couple of years ago when we played you guys lacrosse, we went back and looked at that, and I think you guys' starting position was somewhere around the 40-yard line, and that's not good when you play a slot TT. You got to back them up and make them execute all the way down the field. And we didn't do a very good job of that night. And hopefully we'll do a little bit better job of making, Navarro have to earn it. When I say earn it, I don't mean that they didn't. I'm just saying from a further distance out as compared to what they had last time we played. So hopefully we'll do a good job in the kicking game, and we'll be sound. And the same thing on the return. We have to do a good job of getting the ball out of the, our own end of the field and trying to do a better job for us not having to go as far. So, that's a big part of it. We spend a great deal of time on special teams. But, it's a three-phase game, and you can't expect to be the top 10 team like Navarro if you're not good in all three phases. So we're hoping tonight that we can put it all together.
Thank you for that, Coach. Now, one last question I'm going to ask you is, I'm going to ask you to just give me 3 keys to victory to win tonight.
Well, number one, when you play a slot T team, you better be physical. And so one of the big things for us is we have to match the physicality of Navarro. We have to also get lined up right. Like I told you a minute ago, as far as slot T goes, we don't see it very much. And so we got to make sure that we're lined up on defense the right way and the gaps we're supposed to be in and just making sure we're sound there and able to defend the whole thing. And then thirdly, we have to execute on offense. We can't have procedural mistakes that put us behind the chains. We've got to do a good job of staying ahead of the chains and give ourselves some third down and manageables and some third down and makeables because, again, when you play a top 10 team, if you get yourself in third and long, that's a recipe for disaster. And so we got to do a better job of staying ahead of the chains than what we did a couple of years ago.
Okay, Coach, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Good evening. This is Hank Dietert. I'm down on the field with Coach Rod Blunt, the head coach of the Navarro Panthers. Tonight we're featuring on the Navarro Panther Network, the debut of the network. So, Coach, thank you for joining us tonight.
I appreciate you having us. Excited to have you all doing our games.
All right, Coach. So last year you get to the quarterfinals and the nail biter against Cuero. And, so what have you learned from that season and what can you take from there to this season?
Just we got to keep battling, keep working. Our kids didn't take it well. They worked hard, so they got after it starting that next Monday. Started working hard, getting after it. Had a great off season, a great summer, and been very excited about how the fall camp has gone so far.
All right, Coach. Now, looking at Navasota's offense and your defense, what do you have to do to stop Navasota? Because my understanding is that they may mix in a couple of quarterbacks.
Yes, sir, and both very talented. Kind of have different styles a little bit. Both of them are extremely dangerous, but we got to limit the big play. They're going to have athletes all over the field, so we got to make sure that we're in the right spot, lined up, reading our keys, and flying to that football.
All right, Coach. Now, on the other side of the ball, where you have the ball and you're on offense, what are some of the things you're going to have to do on offense to stop that aggressive defense? They have a couple of good outside players that can really crash. So what is your expectations?
It always with us, it starts at the line of scrimmage. We got to create a new line of scrimmage, get some movement on those guys. We got to do a great job of getting downfield and get bodies on those linebackers and safeties. They're extremely athletic. They love running the alley, coming downhill, and putting a hit on somebody. So we got to do a great job of getting on them, control the ball, protect it, and make sure we're staying out there and having long drives.
Now, going into the special team side of things, Coach Dacus had told me earlier that they want to try to make sure to keep you on your end of the field and not keep coming on theirs. And I would expect you to do the same to a certain degree. But is there anything specific you'd like to see in your kicking and special teams?
I was taught early on to press the kicking game because that's where the breaks are made in big ball games. So we got to try to take advantage of it and, either steal a possession here or there, but make sure that we do a great job of when we do punt, getting down there cover on kickoffs, and try to put ourselves in good field position.
Okay, Coach.
So overall, I'm going to ask you for your 3 keys to victory for tonight's game. So can you tell me those 3?
Number one is limit their big plays on offense. They have the ability to go score any play. We got to make sure that we're pursuing and flying to the football. The second one is control the line of scrimmages, both sides of the football. And we need to protect the ball on offense, no turnovers, and create turnovers on defense.
Okay, Coach. Well, good luck tonight. Wish you all the best, and go Panthers, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Go Panthers.
All right, we're back, and I have Scott Kibbe here with us to give us some fun facts and stats about the Navarro Panther football team. He's been a statistician. Let me tell it real quick. 31 years. Can you believe that? 31 years. I feel old now. But go ahead,
I think
Scott.
you feel old, but our fact tonight is the most lopsided Navarro season opener. The Navarro winning a season opener in history. A lot of you
I don't know.
remember 2015. The Panthers went down to Medina Valley against the Medina Valley team. That was the biggest school that ever played. The Panthers had just barely beat them. Navarro just barely beat them the year before. Thought we'd have a tight game. Jake Wright and company thought different and had a 35-0 lead at halftime. Ended up winning 56-0, and real good indication of what was coming that season.
Well, Scott, thank you for that. You can always find Scott in the Seguin Gazette, and he has his articles that have on the Panthers, and you're also the historian and statistician officially for the Navarro Panthers. So thank you, Scott, for that, and we'll let you get over there to the other side so you can go ahead and get to the stats. Thank you. All right, we have Lance back with us, Lance Blackburn. So hopefully I said that right.
Oh, you said that right. Yes, sir. So we're going to run right now into the school sports recap and events. Tuesday night, our volleyball Lady Panthers defeated the Hoth at home in 3 games. Today, Friday, this morning, the FCA had the largest turnout they've ever had, Hank.
Wow. And some people may not know what that is. So can you?
So the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Okay.
We had, I think, over 50 athletes.
Awesome.
In the gym this morning.
Awesome.
And it was incredible. So if you're a student and you missed out this morning, they usually meet on Friday mornings. It's 7 a.m. and come out. So I'm going to go through a few recaps and sports events for the upcoming week. Volleyball this week is going to be
there. Your Panthers. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there they are. Yeah, I'm fired up now. Sorry.
Not a better place to be in the world right now.
That's right.
Right. So cross country runs tomorrow. Volleyball is at Kerrville. Tennis. 5-1 record overall. Congratulations to them. They open district play next week at home against Gonzales on Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Next Thursday, September 1st, we've got JV football here at 6:30. Friday, volleyball at Jordanton, and we will be live next week at Cuero.
All right.
Our friends at Cuero.
Always fun to go to Cuero. I guarantee you that. So now we had one other quick announcement by the high school principal, right? He brought us a video, right?
He did.
Okay. Well, let's go to that video right now.
Hello out there in Pantherland. This is Clay Scarborough, principal of Navarro High School. I want to give you a quick rundown on what's happening here next week at Navarro High School. On Tuesday, volleyball will play at Steele. On Wednesday, tennis will take on Gonzales here at 4:30 p.m. On Thursday, JV football is here at 6:30 p.m. Friday night, volleyball will travel to Jordanton, and football will travel to Cuero for their second game of the year. Then on Saturday, cross country will run at Feast, which is in San Antonio. Look forward to seeing you at all these events. Of course, going on in our classrooms is still excellent learning. Great teaching from our teachers and excellent learning from our students. Have a great week, everybody.
So we're bringing the captains on right now. Number 22, Case Monroe. Number 6, Bo Brumley. Number 54, Owen Gonzalez. And our quarterback, number 14, Bryce Nall. Hank, you wanna get into some keys of the game and maybe final predictions before we flip the coin and kick off?
Yeah, I think that tonight, we're going to see the Panthers have to play just fundamental Panther football from the slot tee, be physical, and just get after it and protect the ball. I think really those are the two keys. Just be physical and protect the ball, and they'll win this game, hands down, both physically on the defensive side and offensive side. So and I believe the Panthers will win it tonight. Not far from the score we had 2 years ago, like 28-7. That's what I'm looking at.
Well, I agree. I think physicality is going to win this game. As we all know, Navasota has traditionally been a very physical, fast team, and we will need to negate that speed. And if we don't negate that speed, we may be in trouble, right? But if we negate the speed, I think we're in good shape. And I agree. Looks like our Panthers are receiving.
Yeah. Navasota looked like they won the toss, but they deferred, if I caught that correctly, and Panthers will receive. So that's going to be fun. We get to start on offense first, and usually this Panther team likes to surprise teams that don't play the slot too often with a good quick score or two. Okay, we're going to be listening in to the national anthem, and they're going to have a moment of silence. So please observe.
Please remain standing for our national anthem tonight. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. National anthem tonight will be played by the Navasota High School Rattler Band under the direction of Mr. David Holland. Ready? Draw. 1, 2. And now, team on the field. Rattler Nation in the stands. It's time for some Friday Night Lights. We're starting on
Welcome to Navasota, Texas, the Snake Pit, folks. We are here. The Panthers are receiving. Welcome to the Navarro Panther Network. We did it. First game. If you're tuning in from Geronimo, Navarro, Welcome to Navasota. Please have a little bit of patience with us. This is our first broadcast, but we will do our best. All right. The kick is up. We've got it. Oh, he's got a lane. Oh, he's up to about the 32-yard line. I think that's Xavier Cropper.
Yeah, I believe that might have been, was that number 10, Mason Phillips? I'm sorry. My bad. It was Xavier Cropper. Boy, I'm telling you, Lance, sorry about that. Yeah. So
we're setting up shop about the 32-yard line. First drive of the year for the Panthers.
Yeah, at the 32-yard line here at the Snake Pit. I mean, there is a little bit of a breeze as you saw the flags during the national anthem. And so now you got Bryce Nall that is going to be, leading this team.
Handoff straight up to Colton Chambers. He's met at the line. Actually, he's pushed back. Probably. It looks like about a 1-yard loss.
Yeah. And we talked about Mr. Powell earlier. Mr. Powell was the one who we had listed first to be one of the big players in there, and he was one of the first players in.
All right, so we're looking at second in about 10.5, maybe. Let's call it 11, Hank.
Well, we'll get the troops going here in just a moment.
Handoff straight up the middle. Chop up. It looks like he's going to get about 2 yards on the gain.
Yeah, he takes it up to the 34, but again, the defensive line right now of the Rattlers are really holding their own. And I have to say, Mr. Chavez is one of the ones right up the gut is being physical. Drew Chavez, and he's holding up the pack along with the nose guard, Chance Reisner.
All right, we've got Bryce with the fake. He's running it. He's met at the line again.
Yeah. Well, Powell is there again. And Powell is the one that really came off the block. If you watch Powell, he actually sheds his block, has enough speed and force, he could go straight up the gut.
So the ball's on the 36-yard line. Looks like we are going to punt the ball. There's a gain of about 2 yards.
Yeah, it looked like it could go for a big play, but it did not at that point. So.
Bryce with the punt. Nice punt. Fielded. Oh, he fumbles it. Panthers are on him, though.
Oh, man. Jared Isaiah, he just lost the handle of the ball. He caught the ball clean, but then as he made his move, he takes and loses it. And if you're out there watching as well, remember, you can make donations to the Audiovisual Club because we have students with us from Navarro High School that is helping with the cameras and all, and we'll go over and give them some kudos. We'll get their names and get them out to you as well.
So they're setting up shop about the 27-yard line. Fakes the hand. Oh, it's a reverse. Number 11 to the backside.
And Blackbird's the only man that could stop him, but he's gone all the way on the reverse. And that looks to be a big, big play for Navasota on the very first play of the game. DeAndre Scott with that long scamper. Yeah, he goes 73 yards on that one, if I'm correct.
I think so. And,
yeah, it was at the 27. It went 73 yards, and Navasota, very first play, they get it.
It almost looks like the Navarro defense completely bid on the fake.
Oh, yeah.
Extra point is up and good. So.
And that only works, if you're setting them up. Usually you have to run a couple plays to that side that makes it look like that play. But, both of these teams look at a lot of film and they see certain keys. And that's what Navasota felt like the Panthers were going to really bite, and they did. And that's where the Panthers, we ran into the problem on that one. But good job by the, selling the fakes. You got to admit, Navasota sold the fakes on that one. And Panthers, you had every one of the Panthers on defense flowing to the right, and the ball goes back to the defensive left.
Yes. 100%. Like you said, Hank, all scouting, scripted plays.
Oh, yeah.
As a lot of teams do these days. You see it in the college game, and you see it in the high school game. The scripted plays. I'm sure that was
Well,
with the intention of getting up early, right?
right, exactly. Well, let's see if we can wake them up here.
All right, we're gonna kickoff from the 40. We've got Colton Chambers, Xavier Cropper back.
Fabian Perez kicks that one off.
Oh, that's a nice kick. Xavier Cropper fields it about the 4-yard line. He runs it back, and he is met hard at about the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and it looks, I was trying to see the first man down there for the Rattlers. I believe that looked like either 22, Jamal Thomas, or 23, Zamaric Taylor. That was down there. But now the Panthers are really in a hole back here, down 7 points. And the first quarter of play, and the ball's all the way back to the 13-yard line.
Oh, he's going to throw. He's got a man. He's got Blackburn. He's up. He catches it, and he's about to the 42, 43-yard line.
Pass is complete to number 7.
That's about a 36-yard pass completion that goes all the way up to Blackburn. Those play action, when they start loading that box, Coach Dake has talked about that. You know, either you load up and you stop the run, but you got to watch out for that play action, and that's exactly what we saw there.
That's right. Oh, he hands it straight up. Oh, wait, we got a whistle early. Straight up the fullback, Choppa.
We're going to get a false start, looks like, against the Panthers.
It is against the Panthers. They're going to back us up 5. So it'll be 1st and 15 from about the 39-yard line, our own 39.
All right, 1st and 15, get behind the chains. That's not what you like to see in a slot team, or for any team, you know. So, you know, right now the coaches and Navarro coaches are looking at what the lineups are right now to see how are they lining up on the Panthers, and they could make some adjustments.
No, fumbles the snap, but he keeps it, and he runs. He's got some space. Oh, he's off. He's off to the races, folks. But he's pulled down about the 22-yard line. Huge gain for the Panthers.
Big gain, and we'll give it a big. And the Panthers now get all the way down inside the 25-yard line. But can you believe who ran him down? You know, Powell again.
Powell.
0. You know, he's no 0 in my book, I'll tell you that. But, I mean, he's the biggest kid, just about the biggest kid out there, height-wise and big body-wise, and he can run down Null like he was standing still. What an amazing athlete.
It was unbelievable. It was almost like he was taking 2 strides to his 1. Okay, Null setting up shop. 1st and 10. Oh.
Yeah, and they can't get the snap right for some reason all of a sudden. You know, I don't know if that nose guard is getting right up into, you know, the center because
we got a late flag.
Oh, that might be
a little extracurricular.
Yeah, I think I saw Bo Brumley over there, and don't know if there was an extra push there. But I tell you, Houston Berry, the center for the Panthers right now are, you know, and between him and Null, they're going to have to get that snap fixed quick.
So it looks like we're rotating number 60, Caleb Hagan, and Houston Berry.
Yep.
Caleb just went off, and Houston Berry's back in. So it seems like they're rotating the center.
Well, and it might be for a reason, because that might be because the ball hit the ground, and let's try changing the center and go back to that. So, you know, we had, starting was Houston Berry and Caleb Hagan, but they switched it out, and now looks like we have
unsportsmanlike conduct against Navasota.
Wow.
So the Panthers are going to get a gift here.
First down, too.
Right.
That's an automatic first down. So the Panthers' time of possession always comes into a big play, you know, I mean, it becomes a big play because the other side doesn't have a chance to get the ball as much.
So we're setting up shop, first and goal. Looks like from about the 9-yard line. Choppa off the right side. Oh, he's there.
Oh, yeah.
9 yards. I mean, they cleared a lane for him, and it was smooth sailing.
Now the Panthers just go right up the gut. But I'll tell you what, remember, you just saw the centers changed out, and there might be a good reason for that. Bring in the little bigger body of the center and being able to push somebody around, get them off to the side just for that play, and it worked. Kudos to Blunt.
So the snap for the extra point. Oh, it's a little low snap, but it is through, and it is good. So we tie it up 7-7, folks.
Yeah, we got 7-7 right now is the score for the Navarro Panthers and the Navasota Rattlers. And, you know, what's funny about this, the only two things common about these two teams on offense is their first 4 letters of the school name. Nava, you know, so and they both have that N with the same font and logo. So that is really odd, I think. But Navarro, you know, does answer the call. So we'll see if they can do something on defense now and not over pursue and just keep things, you know, in check. And if their defense I believe this is something we didn't talk about, but I believe if the Panthers defense, you know, keeps Navasota to where they have to work at it, I think Navasota will get impatient, throw the ball down. And you talked about the 7 interceptions in the I like to say preseason, but it's scrimmages. But we could see those come about.
And you know what I love about it, Hank, is we were punched in the mouth early on a big play, and we see our boys come back and answer on a long drive the ball. We were on the 13-yard line.
Yep.
And we were backed up, right?
That's right.
So huge drive, huge answer. Well, first test of the season for the Panthers.
And we have to give kudos to Sam Sneed, the younger brother of Sebastian Sneed, you know, who has the, many records. Yeah, many records. I should say just one, but he has the longest. And so you got Sam, the younger brother, coming in, and he made a low snap. Everything looked bad except the kick, and it was good. So now you don't know who's going to kick the ball with the Panthers, as it's Blackburn that kicks the ball, and they kick it to the outside of the 30, and it looks like it goes to number 6, who's got some speed. That's Clifton Love. He gets to the outside all the way close to the 43. So the Rattlers are going to set up shop here, Lance, at the 43 with good field position. Now, let's see if the Panthers defense comes alive. And we didn't talk about the Panther defense on their starting lineup. What we had from Coach Blunt is Bo Brumley, Matthew Richardson, Owen Gonzalez, Ian Palmer, Case Monroe, Hayden Tolliver, Diego Chapa, Nick Swartzlosey, Bryce Knoll, Landry Blackburn, and Tragan and James. Now the handoff goes to number 11. And number 11 is DeAndre Scott. He's a senior, and he gets some good positive yards for the Rattlers, but nothing like that first 73-yard play that Scott took to the house for the Rattlers on a reverse. So right now, Javen Jesse is back to tip the snap in a pistol, and
he's getting aggressive. He slips.
Yep, and he gets to the outside, but couldn't get around number 42. So I'll let you. Lance was doing something, so I'm sorry I took a little bit of play-by-play there, but good rundown by Jacob
Arias.
You hear a little bit of that wind, and the wind has picked up. I'm holding on to all our papers here, trying to get them taped down. So now, again,
they snapped the ball about the 45. Quick dump out to number 11. Oh, wait a minute. Almost looks like a holding should have been called there on number.
Yeah, we'd like to see it. I mean, but you could probably call holding on every play, but that one would have affected the play. I agree. But man, DeAndre Scott takes that ball all the way inside the 35-yard line down to the 34. And it's first down and 10, and Navasota's moving the ball again against the defense.
Navasota goes full, no huddle, quick. They hand it off. No, he fakes it. He keeps it. He's going to run it, and we contain him. Although he picks up about 5.
Yeah,
All the way down to about the 30, maybe 4.
Yeah, and Jesse's getting yards. He just kind of is picking his lanes. He had enough time because of the fake to Scott, and Jesse is right there to be able to pick the hole, and he gets almost 5 yards, but we'll call it 4. It's at the 30.
So Navasota again, no huddle, calling the signals, handoff. Oh, quick! Oh, 2 missed tackles, but tell you what. Who comes up there? And that is Nick Swartzlosey, number 3.
Yeah. But after about 2 missed tackles, and I'm telling you, what a nice hard run by number 24, Artavian Rutherford.
So that's going to set up at 3rd down.
Rutherford's only a sophomore. So that was a good hard run by a sophomore, I'll tell you that.
So it sets up about 3rd and 5 from the 34-yard line. He's back. He dumps it. Oh, a nice catch in the flat.
Let's see if he
Number
has
84.
enough. He's right at the first down marker. So let's see if he has enough for the first down. And they called it a first down. That was a 5-yard gain, 5.5-yard gain, and it gets them the first down.
Just a simple flat route.
Yeah. And what a grab, though. You saw it on the video. He went out, reached out, pulled it in with one arm, and it went out of bounds.
Bertavian Bennett, senior. He hands it. Again, number 24.
And Rutherford, good hard run, and he gets almost 6 yards on that one play. Panthers defense is going to have to stiffen up here. One thing nice that the field shrinks, so there's a lot less ability for teams like Navasota to really air it out or stretch it out. So now the Panthers, inside the red zone here for Navasota, the Panthers can now clamp down a little bit. Let's see if they can do that.
And that was Jaden Gomez, 56 on the tackle. They're going to snap it from the Panther 23-yard line.
I had an old colleague that would call that the meerkat offense because all of them turn around like they're meerkats.
The Panthers show blitz. They do. They run blitz. They stretch it outside, and nice tackle.
Yeah.
Number 11.
Yeah, he's first one there. And,
Gabriel Rangel.
Yeah, Rangel was able to get to the outside, but it was a host of Panthers that actually strung it out. But then you got it looked like number 23 carried the ball on the side of Zamaric Taylor. And he's a runner as well. And they're both sophomores. I can't get over that. Rutherford and Taylor, sophomores, running the ball.
So 3rd and 3 from about the 22-yard line. Oh, he hands it straight up the middle. Oh, he's gone. Straight up the middle. Touchdown. Navasota.
Yeah, Taylor. Yeah, he knows what to do with it. When you give him that big of a hole, you see. And one thing nice about YouTube, if you want to, folks, you can go back and rewind it. Right now, we're getting all that technical stuff together to get you replays, but you can go back and replay it and watch it. But I don't think this one anybody would watch again. But nonetheless, good run, hard run by Taylor to get the get about, the 13-yard touchdown run.
Extra point up, and it looks good.
Wow, we got a barn burner going on here, Lance. It's 14-7 Navasota ahead of the Panthers. And what are we seeing? We're seeing the defense of the Panthers being kind of pushed around. And I don't think the Panthers are used to that, seeing that on a defensive side. So I think they just got to get physical up front and start, pushing back, so to speak.
I think so. I think coming out of camp, I think if you were in the Navarro, talking with Navarro folks, I think they were looking at the defense to be our strength, but Navasota is getting physical with us.
Yeah, Navasota is with running the ball, they're able to push, the Panthers defensive line and linebackers we haven't called Case Monroe much, or we haven't called Hayden Tolliver. So
our two linebacker leaders on defense.
So, and if we watch it a little close, we might find out that there's been a focus on those two players.
And I'm sure there probably was.
Yeah.
They led both those boys led us in tackles last year. And so we'll see what happens. We got to answer the bell again.
Yeah, you got to answer the bell. And if you don't, you're going to lose the game. And this has been one of those that it's been back and forth. I think they saw that yesterday with the JV. It went back and forth,
It did. JV held their own. It was 22-22 until late in the game. And Navasota made a long drive at the end of the game and ended up squeezing that one out. But they're going to kick off. Deep for the Panthers again is Colton Chambers. Xavier Cropper. That's going to be Chambers. He fields it about the 1 yard line. He runs it. Oh, he is met hard about the 19 yard line.
Yeah. It was real close to the helmet thing on that one. You wonder if we don't see it called as much in high school as you see in college because they have the actual replay and all, but that was a hard hit.
So they're going to mark it right about the 20, just short of the 20 yard line. The Panther 20. So let's see what we got moving forward. I think Navasota's feeling good about themselves right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think with that one penalty, you think about an unsportsmanlike conduct that took place, put the Panthers, deep inside the territory of Rattlers. That's the only difference right now in this game.
So Bryce hands it off to our fullback, Diego Chapa, who is met straight up in the hole, maybe a little bit 2 yards deep, and I'm not sure he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Navasota's really high-fiving Xavier Haynes as well, and Xavier Haynes was right up the gut on that one, and so Panthers going to have to do a little better job inside as well.
So they're going to put that as no gain, not a loss, but no gain. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Panthers going to have to find something, and I think they're going to have to find it with play action again.
So they hand it. Landon Taylor trying to get outside, and he is met hard by number 2. That is Travian McGinty, senior corner.
Yeah, and pushing them back inside was Chris Thompson of the defense, and Taylor had nowhere to go on that one.
He really didn't, unless he bounced it way outside. But I don't even know if he had the chance to do that.
Now, and with the speed of Navasota, it's one of those things that you almost have to run at speed. You can't run around it. You have to go at it.
Go straight at it.
Right.
All right, so Caleb Hagan setting the ball about the 19-yard line. Oh, almost a peanut play there. Looks like he's Diego Chapa is rounded up and corralled at about the 21, maybe the 22-yard line. It's going to be 4th down, and I say 8.
Yeah, Tobias, Andres Tobias was there, and to make the stop, number 60 for the Rattlers, and this is not going so well right now for the Panthers as it's 4th down and long. Panthers set up in a punt formation.
So we need a nice punt here from Bryce, which he receives the snap. Oh, that was close.
Wow.
It gets a sky ball who actually hits. I think it might have.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was close.
It was close. That's all I can say. It looked like it touched the heel, but you don't know. And what really counts is if the officials call it or not. And so they did not.
They did
not in favor of the Panthers that way.
So they're going to set up shop. It was almost blocked by, again, who's number 0, Powell, right? Stuck in there. And, I forced Bryce to kind of almost punt that in the sky.
Well, here's where you need a big play. Turnover of some sort, penalty, a big stop deep in the backfield. Something has to happen for the Panthers to make it come alive.
So they set up shop the 38-yard line, and folks, they run straight up the middle, and that is a easy 38-yard touchdown.
Yeah, 38 yards, and Devontae Scott has his 2nd touchdown of the game. And wow, DeAndre Scott, just the senior on the team, just takes the ball and pretty much just a bump here and there and broke the last tackle on Null and walks into the end zone.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was touched once or twice, maybe.
Yeah.
Extra point. Up and solid and good. Wow. That will make it the Navasota Rattlers 21. And our Navarro Panthers 7 with 2:22 to play in the first quarter.
Well, Lance, back to the old drawing board, I think, and Panthers are going to have to do something a little bit different, especially on defense. And we were both talking about how the Panthers have a good defense. They're solid defense, but right now that's come into question quite a bit because Navasota has really not only by most people think the Panthers get beat on the passes, the long ball, okay. But tonight it has not been that way. Panthers have been, really pushed back or pushed around on the line of scrimmage, finding seams Navasota is, and they're able to take it, really go right at the Panthers. And Panthers just going to have to get fired up. And remember, this is football. You got to hit somebody because it'll always make you feel good.
It will.
I mean, in football, in the context of football, I always say that, not in any other, arena. Other than maybe boxing or something like that.
So Navasota kicking, we've got a replacement. Diego Chapa is going to receive deep. He's in the middle. Xavier Cropper. The kick is a great kick through the back of the end zone. And Navarro will take over at the 25.
Yeah, which, may be a little bit of a blessing, but what a kick, though. The kick really landed at about the 2-yard line and rolled in, or 3-yard line rolled in. And the Panthers get it at the 25, one of their better field positions, not the best yet. I think they started at the 32 for the first position. So we'll see how this one turns out.
All right, so Panthers setting up shop about the 25-yard, their own 25-yard line. What do you do here, Hank?
Well, I mean, you might. They already tried the peanut play. I think you just got to find what works best.
Oh, nice gain. Choppa straight up the middle. Nice block off the right guard.
And that's an old-fashioned power play by the Panthers. I know what play they call it, but it's basically you have a double and you're coming right at them. It's just like an old dive play in the veer. Very similar.
100%. 5-yard gain. Nice gain. And we're ahead of the chains.
Yeah. And for once. And that last series, we were behind the chains the whole time. Panthers are kind of letting the play clock go down.
Oh, motion. I think that's
Yeah, they got it on the outside. Bo Brumley kind of just flinched just enough. And they're going to call false start against the Panthers. So, well, there goes ahead of the chains kind of thing. Like, oh, my goodness. But I'll tell you what. I was in a game, calling a game where the Panthers were playing Gonzales. They were down 28 points at halftime. And they came back and won that game. So, they never count the Panthers out. So, we'll see what happens. And
we get a lot of football to play. We're still in the first quarter. We got 1:36 and counting. 2nd and 10.
Don't give up on us, folks.
Yeah, that's a fake handoff to the fullback, and that's Bryce. He runs it straight up the middle.
Yeah, it's a flag. You can't lift up a player and then throw him down. That is against the rules. That's going to be an automatic 15-yard penalty.
I think, Hank, he gained about 5 yards after the 30-yard line, so it's probably going to be another 15 tackle.
Oh, yeah. We'll be all the way up to the 45-yard line if my calculations are right. I did go to Navarro, so I'm pretty smart. So when you lift a player up, it's okay if you lift them up. But it's one thing that once the whistle is supposed to blow, and if you throw them down after that, that's an automatic penalty. Personal foul. Yep. And a lot of coaches don't see it often, but you can't do that. That's there's a reason why it's the safety of all the players, especially a running back, because that means we could do wrestling out here. We'll do pile drives, we'll get Hulk Hogan out here. We'll get, Shawn Michaels in San Antonio, come on over. Maybe we can get the Undertaker out here as well. He's right down there in Houston. So, we'll bring them all out, and that's the thing. You don't want it to be, that kind of spectacle because people do get hurt when you do that. So that's why. And now it's a learning experience and the players live and learn.
So we're setting up shop on our own 45, 1st and 10. We got new life.
Oh, yeah. Panthers ought to, you got an unsportsmanlike conduct that really helped out. Then you also got, on top of that, now we get the unnecessary roughness calls. See what they can do.
So again, handoff, Chapa off the right guard. He gains about, I want to say about 2 yards, a little extracurricular.
Yeah, all the way out. A double team took somebody all the way out to the sideline.
Took the nose guard almost to our sideline, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a blindside play, but it took two of the Panther linemen to do it on a double team. But again, so we're not completely behind the chains. You'd like to see that 3 yards. Panthers get 2 out of it.
So he hands to the backside, Landon Taylor, and he gets a large gain, almost to the first down, a little short. We're looking at probably about the 46-yard line of Navasota, so it's going to set up maybe a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and that's sometimes just settling in. Now the linemen feel the techniques, and I've talked about this too. Slot T can go 2 ways. Early on, they could pop some plays and get big plays, or it takes them a while to feel out where the defenders are going, because the defenders have tendencies, and they're going to feel out the tendencies and know where they go. They can take advantage of that.
So we run the Chapo.
Runs
out to the left side. It looks like he's going to be a little short.
Oh, man.
Probably about a half yard short. It's going to set up a 4th down.
Yeah, you got to remember, we're all set up on the home side. So, when you hear screaming and all that, a lot of times it's going to be for Navasota. So, but right now there's going to be the end of the quarter. So, well, Lance, what we saw in that first quarter was, I think, Navasota being the more physical team, especially on offense. And the Panthers, I think, just have to flip that script right now and come around and say, okay, we're going to be the more physical team. And this thing is not something that's out of hand by any means, 21-7. Panthers scored, they're only down a touchdown. So let's see what they can do.
And that's exactly what their head coach said, right?
Right.
Coming into this game, we have not faced a slot T team since they faced us 2 years ago in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and we were the more physical team that night. And,
right.
And so far tonight, they have been the more physical team in the first quarter. But the good news is it looks like we are starting to establish a little bit of momentum. And it is 4th down, but 4th down and about 1.5, it looks like.
Yeah.
We're just short of 2. So big play here.
Yes, sir. This is it. This is what football is all about. Mano a mano. Let's go at it. You'll probably see a quarterback sneak, the old goose. So you might see that.
Looks like we got some motion.
Let's see what they call it on, if it's on defense or offense, but it looks to be.
And I couldn't tell.
I couldn't either. And this is one of those, it's a close call, so let's see what it is.
A very important call. It's going to be against the Panthers.
Yeah, there goes that 1.5 yard. So we are looking at the Panthers going for it still. I mean, they're down 2 touchdowns, even though it's just the beginning of the second quarter here. Panthers.
Ball's right almost midfield, just inside about the 49-yard line of the Panthers.
Yeah,
it looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they got to get to the 45-yard line of Navasota in order to take and make it happen and keep the ball. Let's see what they come up with.
He fakes it. He's got a receiver. He throws it backside. There's no one there.
And there was nobody in front of Bryce Nall. I thought he would have just tucked it around because there was green grass, as you saw, right in front of him. It was one of those, he thought he could just drop it in the bucket, and that didn't happen for the Panthers. But Bryce Nall had nobody on that bootleg on this side. He had nothing but green grass. He might have got ran down around the 40, but he would have made the first down easily. Now, I'm going to go back and say it's not all Bryce Nall's fault because we can see that from up here. It is easy for us to see that. Sometimes down on the field, hey, you're focused on getting it to your receiver, and that's quite fine. But we can point out those things because we're the commentators.
All right, they hand off. Number 23, again, breaks it, and it looks like he's going to break it for another Touchdown, 49 yards, right off the right side.
Panthers can't stop the big plays, and that's what happens. Right now, the Panthers defense just has to step it up. There's no question. As you go 49 yards, and I'm telling you that was a very well blocked play. It wasn't all the running back. If you look, you'll see a man and a hat on a Panther. Every single person was
Slap down, kick up, and it is good.
So Panthers have to get off their blocks, make some hits, and oh man, Lance, I did not expect this at all.
So we're 11:42 in the second quarter, and the Panthers down 28-7 on the road here in Navasota.
Yeah, and it is one of those that you're looking at and going, wow, how does that happen? But, preparation, and it looks like the offense is truly fired up. I mean, like I said, when you see blocks the way that we've seen the blocks made on the right people with the speed you have, especially of Zamaric Taylor. I mean, he's got his second touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. And then you've got, you got Scott. DeAndre Scott, the senior, with 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
So here we are at 28 points with only 2 players scoring touchdowns, and that's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need. I mean,
oh my goodness,
you block a play perfectly, and you score, right?
That's right.
And they've been long runs. They have not hurt us at all in the air.
That's right.
It's all been running. It's all been on the ground for Navasota. So we got to clean it up, and we got to. Yeah, I think right now, I think we go on a long drive, and start maybe trying to wear out that defense, right?
Yeah, and get your defense a little bit of rest as well.
Get your defense a little bit of rest. Back deep. I'm trying to Xavier Cropper.
Yeah, Cropper, and then you had.
I apologize, I can't see completely.
Yeah.
But it does bounce.
Gabriel Rangel, but let's see who has it.
Caleb Garcia picks it up about the 10-yard line and gets hit immediately.
Yeah, Garcia had nowhere to go once he got the ball, because the ball was dribbling back there a little bit. So now you have the Panthers again deep in their own territory, starting all the way back close to their 11-yard line. Well, there's not a lot we can say, or do right now, and it's just a matter of if the Panthers are ready to. They're going to re-kick. Okay. We got a penalty against. So I was looking for the white hat. I didn't see it. So there was offsides, I believe, against Navasota. So they're going to re-kick all the way back to the.
Well, that's
35.
A gift. That's a gift. Maybe we can punch this out around the 30 or 40-yard line.
Yeah.
And get out of the hole and
right.
Get us kick started.
Right.
I don't.
All right. All right.
So they're going to kick off now from the 35. So it's just a 5-yard penalty, but gives us another opportunity for a good return here. So it looks like we've got Nick Schwartzlosey in the middle back there returning kicks. So they're kicking it straight up, straight down.
Yeah, good.
And he called a fair catch.
Yeah, that
was Gabriel Rangel.
Yeah, Gabriel Rangel, because you get it at the 25 once you're inside the 20. So that should. But what good kicks have we seen by Bettis from the Rattlers, getting the Panthers deep.
So that was about a 14-yard gain right there on that penalty. So we were going to start at our 11. We're going to start at the 25-yard line.
Yep. As coverage of the kicks tonight, too, by Navasota. So, I mean, all phases of the game, Navasota has been really dominating the Panthers tonight.
So Null back, he does hand it off, and he is hit and met probably with about a 2-yard loss.
Oh, man.
And that's Landon Taylor.
Yeah, and Landon Taylor got, wow. He got by number 19, Chris Hickman, a junior.
A junior linebacker.
Yeah, junior linebacker comes all the way from a linebacker spot and just, he gets a running start, knows exactly where the ball was going, and met Taylor in the backfield.
That's film study, right?
Yeah.
He does only lose 1 yard, so it makes it 2nd and 11 from the 24. And it looks like we got another false start.
Yeah, I don't think that was a false start. If you're going to call that, that's one of those that you could call a legal motion, where maybe you have 2 in motion, but it really doesn't call for a stoppage of play. But the end result is the same. You still go 5 yards back. So.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, well, the officials should let it go. If for some reason, they want to decline it, they'd have an opportunity to decline that penalty. But depending on the result of the play, if you're Navasota, you want to let it play out in case you can get a turnover off it. But right now, it's a timeout that's been called by the Panthers.
I think so. I think it was a timeout by the Panthers, and a good time to regroup.
That's right. Hey, and while we're here at timeout, did you have some information about the students that were helping us out today?
So we have started. You've tuned in to the Navarro Panther Network, sponsored by the Panther Posse, and we have 7. I repeat, 7 students that have joined into the new club, audiovisual club here at Navarro, and it is taking off. So if you'd like to give us a donation, we have a donation link on the YouTube channel.
Should be a QTR code or something to that effect that will also are linked.
Correct, and that goes straight towards benefiting the kids and the entire network, and we appreciate that. So this is our first broadcast, and
inaugural broadcast. And so we have something special for the kids after the broadcast as well. And I shouldn't say kids, students, right?
Yeah. The students said we got 7 students that have stepped up and volunteered. And if you are interested at all, please see Principal Scarborough in his office. And he's our club leader. And we are happy to kick this off and excited, because this is not only going to take off with sports, but it's going to bleed into the band. It's going to bleed into theater. It's going to bleed into all facades of the entire district, including intermediate, elementary. So we have a handoff straight up the middle again. I can't see the number.
If it was Chapa I think it was one of the tailbacks come from. I think it was Chambers. He came from the outside in. So
I think it was Colton Chambers on the carry.
Well, Panthers come in tonight ranked number 10, but you remember these are all preseason polls, and you have the same thing for Wimberley as well. And they were ranked, I think, 7th in the state. And I don't think personally that Wimberley should have been ranked that high.
Oh, and so Bryce is rolling out. He keeps it, and he is tackled on the far sideline.
Yeah, but guess who? Number 0. Oh, pal. He is all over that field tonight.
It looks like Bryce got 4 or 5 yards on the carry.
Yeah, we do have a player down. And it luckily is already, I don't know if it's a Panther or if it's, it looks to be a Panther wearing a white jersey. And these are new jerseys from what I can tell for the Panthers as well tonight.
The Panthers did get new jerseys this year.
So the player's up, and looks like the Panther punt team is going to be coming out.
Well, we have
so that is going to make it about 4th and 6, it looks like.
License plate NZB 8043. Your lights are on.
And it looks like we're We're positioned at our own 29, so
Make sure you're aware.
Yeah, they were calling for a vehicle with their lights on. You don't drive a SUV, white SUV, do you?
Injury time now.
not tonight.
Yeah. And when they call out a license plate number, who actually knows their license plate number? Maybe you do, but I don't.
I do not. So Landon Taylor with the punt. Nice punt. It is fielded, though. Blackburn gets to him, but he is up to it's about 5 yards on the return, maybe 6, up to about the 43-yard line of Navasota. So
Yeah, Hudson Minor, the throwing quarterback, we'd like to say, was the return man on that. And he made some moves that are like, well, if he's not the running quarterback, how good is a running quarterback? But tonight, the quarterback, Jesse, has not had to go through and really do much running at all.
he hasn't.
He's let DeAndre Scott, Zamaric Taylor, and Atavian Rutherford do all the running.
So they've got two to the he's almost looked like he was going to flip it back into a flea flicker.
Yeah, I was looking down here. There was a receiver that had went down the field, but he was actually well covered by the Panthers. I think the Panthers, Tragan James was out there covering the receiver, so there was nowhere to go, Clifton Love. But I don't think it was going to ever come to fruition because of the slip, at the line of scrimmage.
So it sets up 2nd and 10 from the 43. He's back to pass. He doesn't have an open receiver. Now he throws it deep. He's got a guy, and he drops it.
Yeah, that was clearly a drop, and that's but the problem with that is that you see the wide open spaces that were created. But you know why that happens is that the Panthers are up here thinking run 90% of the time because they've been burnt on runs. And then here you see, you see a receiver, which is Clifton Love, get behind the defense essentially. And it's like, that's a big no-no in either case.
And he threw it a little short. The receiver had to wait on it, but he did drop it. So he's back to pass again. He throws it in the flat. No, he drops it one more time, and number 11 for the Panthers comes up on the play.
Yeah, Rangel
Gabriel Rangel makes a nice hit, and it looks like it's going to force a punt.
Yeah, the first punt of the night.
I don't even think they gained a yard on that possession. So,
but almost every play except for one was a pass play. So you had 2 out of the 3 were pass plays that went incomplete, and both of them were drops. But the last 3rd down play wouldn't have gone anywhere because Rangel was right there.
He was. And it's interesting because they got away from their success in running the ball, right?
Well, I mean, you got to try some different. Hey, you're up 28-7. It's a non-district game. You're going to see what can, Jesse do. Your starting quarterback. And when I say Jesse, that's actually his last name. It's Javen Jesse. So when you hear me call that name, it's a quarterback for Navasota, and he's out there. Now he's been out there the entire time starting it, and he's been considered the running quarterback, but we haven't really seen him run but a couple of times tonight.
Right. Right. And his brother was a pretty good quarterback for the past 3 years, I think.
Yeah, and that's the quarterback that got hurt last year that couldn't finish the season, and that's where Navasota went, downhill, so to speak.
Right.
But the Panthers, I mean, like I said, I've seen a score 28-0 essentially at one point against, like I said, and that was Gonzalez, though. You got to remember. So this was back in 17 or 2018. So here we see the Panthers actually in a punt return.
Well, they're running down the clock. It looks like. But if the Panthers can put together a nice drive. Oh, wait a minute. Tolliver made a nice run. Decent punt. And it's going to roll down to about the 22-yard line is where the Panthers will set up shop.
Yeah, I keep hearing that whistle down here, but the drill team is blowing this whistle. And I was like, in reality, there's supposed to be no whistles during a football game whatsoever, even if it's for a drill team or something else. I'm like, you only do that when the game is not being played, like at halftime or something. But
Right.
I was like, if the players hear that and they stop, somebody can get hurt. So that's my main concern. Panthers have to rev it up right now. It might have to go to maybe a faster pace or slow it down, one of the two.
So Bryce with the handoff to Chapa off the right guard. It looks like he's going to gain around 3 yards.
Yeah, and the Panthers double team on that side, and they're able to get the push they need, and that's just the old classic dive power play by the Panthers, coming right at you at 5 yards. It might be something that the Panthers have to do. I don't know if they can do that consistently, but you can play off of that with play action passes, those sorts of things. But you've got to get some rhythm going.
Exactly.
The confidence has to build.
Exactly. And yes, they do pick up 5 yards. So nice first down in front of the chains. Bryce, again, same play. Chapa.
Yeah, and that time, they saw it coming, but that's where you can do, where they fake it in, pull it out, and pitch it out to the tailback. And a lot of teams like to call that the basketball play. Like Wembley, it's a basketball play. It's a chest pass. It looks like a chest pass, but they're getting it all the way out to the tailback. And it could be something they're setting up, but they're going to the short side of the field. If you see hash marks out there, for people that don't watch the game that often, you got the short side and the wide side of the field, and Panthers been going to the short side, just right up the gut that time.
And he runs Colton Chambers off the left guard right there.
Yeah,
running behind Barry.
And good hard run, though.
Yes.
I have to say, his feet were churning. He was still moving, and it's enough for a first down. I got to give it Lisa. And maybe one of these. And it's been a while coming for the Panthers. Their drives have stalled, and let's see if they can keep this going.
It has, but if we can sustain a drive, Chambers again, same play. He's bottled up.
Yeah. Well, I was watching.
We got a late flag.
Yeah, I was watching Houston Barry. Maybe they called on him, but he was driving his man down the field and then tripped. His man tripped on the ground, and then he fell on top of him. So it looks like, I don't know if they're going to call unnecessary roughness against the Panthers. So I'm looking for the white hat right now. There he is. The white hat is the head referee for people out there that are watching. He's the one who makes the call. So you're going to hear our audience mic will go up a little bit, see if we can tune into that. Yeah.
After the play was over,
So
sportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 4. It's going to be 15-yard penalty with the automatic first down.
So I think it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on number 4, Jared Isaiah for the Navasota Rattlers. It looked like he grabbed the face mask of one of the Panthers and yanked it down.
Oh wow!
So
that's a big no-no, and that's why I was focused on one. I was watching the lineman, and when I'm watching the lineman, it's one of those that you're so focused that I didn't see anything else, but I was watching Houston Barry just drive his man to the ground and almost really get a pancake on that one.
Again, off the right guard. Oh, he breaks loose. Number 9. Oh, wait a minute. He's pushed out. That's a large gain down the right sideline. He's pushed out.
Yeah, Caden Guetta coming up as a sophomore and making a big play there. We haven't seen him tonight. We've seen Chapa in that position tonight most of the time.
We haven't, but the
got fresh legs.
The common theme is they are running off the right guard there, Barry, and churning some yards.
You got Mac Barry and Houston Barry. Houston Barry's came in and is playing center, so it's the battle of the Barrys right up front.
Again, same play. I'm not sure who the ball carrier was, but it looks like he's gained 3 or 4 yards.
It was Guetta again, and Guetta gets up there and gets a couple of yards. 3 yards in the cloud of plastic pellets is all we need on this artificial turf field. And now you got some momentum, even if it's the same play. Now will we see a play action? 2nd down and 7. What do you do, Lance? Play action, or you just keep doing what you're doing? It's like, I'm glad I'm not the coach. That's all I can say.
Well, if you're asking me, I eventually pull out a play action somewhere, but
Same play.
Same play.
And almost same result.
And almost the same result. He gets about 4 or 5 yard again.
Sorry, Lance, I stepped on you there. So you go for it. You get everything out there because I'm going to sit down and take a break here.
3rd and about 2, and we're set up at about the 21-yard line of Navasota. You know, the great thing I see coming here, Hank, is that maybe we're wearing them down a little bit. Maybe this is what we need, a long drive, put them on the field for a while. Boom, Chambers, same side.
Yeah, and he's going to get enough for the first down for the Panthers. So,
and again, they are running that right side of the line. Matt Richardson are the guard and tackle over there, the strong guard, strong tackle. And 1st and 10.
And you got the center in there as well, Houston Berry now. And so they're all pushing it together. Now we go back to the other side.
Same play off the quick guard, and geez, he gains 6 yards at least, maybe 7.
Yeah, and the offensive line now. I mean, when you saw that play, this time we had some action pulling, and when you start seeing them and pushing them back after that same play over and over again, and then see something different all of a sudden, you don't know how to take it if you're Navasota.
Which, again, this might be right what the doctor ordered. Bryce under center again. Off the right guard.
And that's Choppa again. Was it? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, Choppa with, looks like maybe 2.
Yeah.
2 or 3. It's going to bring up at about a 3rd and 3, 2.5.
Yeah, so this has been a methodical drive, and this is what we're used to, and it keeps the ball out of the hands of that, offense. And if the Panthers can make Navasota pay for playing around and, let's try some new plays, let's try some bads, and they got away from what they were doing, this would be great.
Again, Choppa off the right side, and he's gonna churn for a first down.
Yeah.
We're looking at probably about 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, and the Panthers, I'm telling you, is just taking it now. The linemen are saying, okay, you remember what we talked about very early in the broadcast, that you don't run outside of speed or around speed. You run what? You run at them.
At them.
And that's what we're seeing now for the Panthers is we have a timeout that's been called on the field.
I think Navasota's tired.
Yeah.
I think they're getting a little gassed. They call a timeout here.
And that may play out all the way to the 4th quarter. I mean, you're down by only 2 touchdowns. If you get this in and you hold the Rattlers, you may even have a chance to get the ball back and make a quick score and be down only by 1 at the halftime mark. And like I said, we've seen this so many times from the Panthers in the past. Slow starts, but all of a sudden, that conditioning that Coach Blunt had talked about, it comes into play. So let's hope and pray that's what we see tonight as the Panthers. I mean, it is humid. I'm in this box sweating,
Well,
wow.
Coming over, I think we mentioned, we saw, I mean, there was a lot more rain showers over here than there was back home.
Sure.
And so coastal showers brings humidity, and humidity brings, it
brings a lot of
exhaustion and a lot of drinking a lot of water and
a lot of cramps. We may see
cramps. We could see that. Look for that in the second half. And we got 3:07. Navarro's got the ball on the Navasota 6-yard line.
But they have all this would be moot if they don't score. So that's the key. The Panthers have to score.
So Bryce Nall has been running the ball quite well. Do you see a quarterback? We haven't seen that in quite a while. Maybe.
Well, that bootleg, he was wide open. If the coaches have seen that, they see that maybe he can walk in on the wide side of the field here.
All right. Oh, Chambers. He's out. Touchdown for the Panthers.
I believe he took that one from 7 yards out as well. Oh, wow.
I'm not sure he was touched.
Yeah, I mean, the whole, again, by that offensive line is just what the doctor ordered. And you got to give kudos to the offensive line in this entire drive. This drive was the O-line drive. If there's any other drive, that you would say tonight, that was the drive that made the difference.
It did. And that's exactly what we needed. The kick is up.
Oh.
It is. Oh, that one limped over the line, but we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
We will take it.
So that takes our score 28-14. The Panthers at least cut the lead in half that Navasota had. Take advantage of a 3-and-out with some time saved on the clock because Navasota only ran that ball once out of those 3 times and had 2 incompletions. So there we see, time being saved by the Panthers. Now, since your defense is a little suspect tonight, except for that series that we just talked about, 3 minutes left, do you give it to the offense or do you try to do an onside here? Do you give it to Navasota's offense and hope your defense can pin them back?
You know what I do is I kick it deep. I kick it in a gap. I kick it deep. I don't kick it to a man. I kick it in a gap and kick it deep and make them field the ball.
Yeah, and that's fine. I always say keep it outside the numbers, pin them on the outside. Don't ever kick the ball in the middle in these kind of situations, especially with team with speed. Because why? Anytime you kick it to the middle, you have 3 directions to go, and if you kick it to the sideline, you only have 2. That's straight up or go to the other side. So the key is here. Hopefully, if you're going to kick it deep, I'm just saying, either way, if we kick it deep, you want it outside the numbers. And when I say outside the numbers, you can see the 40, the 50, like on your screen right now. And so if we kick it to that outside, but hopefully down, inside the 20, and keep them pinned to the outside and use the sideline as your other defender.
So they've got one number 11 who's deep, which would be DeAndre Scott, who's had a couple touchdowns this evening. So we know he can take it to the house.
I would even say if you kicked an onside and Powell picks up that ball, we've seen him being one of the fastest players on the field as a big body. He's standing at the 45, so you don't want to kick it to him on an onside.
Landon Taylor with the kick. He kicks it straight up. We've got a whistle.
Uh-oh. I don't know if they were ready for play. So was the, delay a game. Well, the head official's cutting out. Timeout Panthers before the play clock runs out. Oh, that would be not good. Okay. I know my grammar is not.
Well, you never want to wait. You never want to waste a timeout on a special team coming out of a touchdown. But that one's probably okay. We don't have a lot of time left in the half. But we'll see.
We'll see what the Mighty Panthers come up with here because, it may be one of those where they're going to think twice about it. So, and see what happens. They may decide to go onside after they saw the lineup, just like a basketball play. Hey, we're going to look at this and see what we can do.
Well, what's interesting is we have several kickers that can kick the ball right up there.
Right.
And they're standing side by side. So you've got Landon Taylor actually kicking the ball. You have Landry Blackburn, who also kicks the ball.
Right.
And I'm not sure that they've seen that now. Well, it still looks like Landon Taylor's lined up to set it on the tee and kick it. And you still have number 11 for the Navasota Rattlers back, DeAndre Scott, which is a dangerous receiver, but
they are going to kick it to the sideline, but it goes out of bounds.
But he kicks it, yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I've said in years past, if you listen to me, I say it's okay to kick it out of bounds. I mean, because you have no return, even though, they get a decent field position, but they're not getting great field position. I would bet, and I bet my bottom dollar that if you kicked it to somebody like Scott or Jesse or any one of the fast guys out there, they were going to get past the 40. And so I will take this at the 35-yard line any day of the week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for agreeing. I thought, well, maybe he's not going to agree.
No, I completely agree. Again,
But they could have made us re-kick, though, too. That's the other side of the coin.
so they're setting up shop at the 35-yard line, their own. Handoff straight up the middle. And again,
There's Scott.
Scott, he's still running. He's down to about the Navarro 15-yard line.
Wow. And we've seen that play. And remember, the Navasota got away from that play, got away from those type of plays in that last series where the Panthers stopped them. And here you go. They go back to their bread and butter.
Which is just a simple handoff straight up the middle.
Yeah. DeAndre Scott, the senior, making the most of it tonight. That's for sure. 3 running backs. They have a stable of running backs tonight.
They do. They hand it off, number 23, but we corral him.
Yeah, early on.
Small gain. It looks like about a 3-yard gain, down to about the 20-yard line. Or I'm sorry, the 15-yard line, 16-yard line.
Yeah.
Of the Panthers.
Yeah, it's going to be just short. They only get a couple out of that. So just short of the 15-yard line is what I meant. Woo! Here we go. Oh, we got a false start. Let's see. They're going to, yep, false start. There it is. So, maybe the football gods are watching. So, they took DeAndre Scott out. But, just as I said that, here he comes waltzing back in. And watch for number 11. And that's the player I would focus on. However, we've seen Jesse pull the ball and keep it on a zone read.
We have. So they set it up. It's about 2nd and 14. Oh, he gets some pressure. He's got a man, number 6. He cuts back. Oh, and he is hit hard about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It was a nice hit by Bo Brumley, but he takes and he gains big yardage, takes it to the 5-yard line easily at a point to where Navasota now has a chance to punch it in with only a minute 43 remaining here in the first half of play. And they lead it 28-14. Navasota, that is.
Navasota's got the ball at about the 5-yard line of the Panthers.
So
1st and goal. Handoff. Oh, no, we corral number 11 this time.
Yeah.
DeAndre Scott was corralled quickly.
Yeah, and it looks to be like right after that, right at the line of scrimmage too. Good job by the Panther defense.
Hayden Tolliver came up and filled the gap and made that happen for the Panthers. So 2nd and goal, no gain. He hands off. He goes to the left side. Oh, wait, he stretches out.
Oh, they're calling him in, and that looked really close. So
that was really close. I think that was the corner, Landry Blackburn, that tried to pull him down, but he stretched the ball. It looks like over the line.
And you could hear the Navasota crowd, really getting excited about it because now they take that, and I always say in football that 3-touchdown lead is so critical. You get inside 2, okay, you have a really good chance, but taking it to 3 really makes it much harder for the Panthers to overcome that lead.
The kick is up and no good.
No good.
No good. Wide to the left.
Yeah, we'll give a thanks there to. We needed a break. Thank the divine gods, the football gods. Now you look at it, you see the score, you're like, oh my goodness, 20 points behind. How did the Panthers ever overcome that? Well, you got a whole football half to play, and you got 54 seconds too. And anything can happen in that 54 seconds that the Panthers can score quickly. Then we will see, we'll see it back within 2 touchdowns at that point because you'll have, that missed extra point now come into play down the road.
So 54 seconds.
Yeah.
What do? You go into the 2-minute offense at this point?
Yeah.
And
I mean, we used to call it NASCAR. We used to be able to go to NASCAR, which was the hurry-up offense for a slot team. It makes perfect sense to say that,
Examiner, you haven't seen the.
Now, we should be joined at halftime Well, by Scott Kibbe. We'll try to give you the band as well. We'll take a break right at halftime, and then we'll bring you the band. And then once we get the band, we'll come back and we'll go over some things, what we've seen in the first half, and then we'll bring in Scott Kibbe, and we'll kind of and hopefully finish it up with the halftime show, and then come back and see the Panthers come back as well.
So back deep. They kick it. Looks like it goes over the head of a Panther and out of bounds about the 5-yard line. So it looks like the Panthers are going to take over.
Just like Navasota had good field position, and now we'll see if the Panthers will have good field position.
Great decision there by the Panthers, and letting that hit about the just inside the inbound line, and it bounced. It took a great bounce for the Panthers and bounced out. So we're going to set up shop at the 35-yard line.
Well, after all that, the Panthers ran all the way down, and to let Navasota come back in it and go down and score, kind of disheartening. But hey, you get, like we talked about, 54 seconds, anything can happen.
54 seconds. I apologize. We're at the 30-yard line. He fakes. Bryce throws. He throws deep. A little bit overthrow to Colton Chambers.
Yeah, and that just didn't look good from the start as far as, the timing of that play. And, it was a good play action. It kind of kept things at bay. But, I have to say, number 2 of the Rattlers, Trayvon McGinty is out there, and he's in good coverage, good place. Well, Atlanta Yellow Jackets beating the Gerald Cougars. Oh, I'll go back to the action.
And handed up the middle. I think that's Chapa. And he gains about 7 yards. Again, running behind.
There we are in a hurry.
Running behind Barry. Quick, calling 2 plays at once. They go the other side. Landon Taylor, and he's going to pick up the first down.
And that stops the clock till they spot the ball, so they save a little bit of time as well. Only 1 timeout remaining for the Panthers. They've used them all.
27 seconds. They winded the clock a little quick on that one, I thought. 19-18 rolling. Bryce back to throw. He throws a little bit short.
Yeah.
I think that was Landon Taylor in the flat.
Well, it was good that it was actually incomplete at the point where if he would have caught it, the clock would have practically run down on that play.
Right.
So Wimberley Texans beating Canyon Lake in the Devil's Backbone Bowl, 14-0.
Oh.
And Cuero beating up on the Ricebirds of El Campo, 21-0, and that's still in the second quarter.
That is.
And Llano is beating Gerald, but not by much. Gerald is in our district this year, and it's 17-13, the Llano Yellow Jackets, who's a 3A team.
Well, handoff. Oh, he slips. Landon Taylor slips right off. He was trying to cut back, it looks like.
13.
Yeah, and you hear a lot of the crowd was moaning about Chambers making that little move to the right as that ends the quarter. So Navarro is trailing here 34-14. So we're going to take a break here as you're watching Navarro Panther football on the Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse. And we'll be right back.
Yes, our co-captains are Morgan Hamilton, Emily King here. Dazzler of the week is Taylor Brandon. The Dazzlers are under the direction of Michelle Conway. Tonight's performance will be a kick routine to Starships. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field the grandest band in the land, the Purple Pride Panther Marching Band. Under the direction of Patrick Todd, J.C. Alexander, Tyler Carpenter, and Anthony Gutierrez. The drum majors for the season are Elena McWhorter, Madison Taggart, and Alex Cantrell. This evening, the Panther Band will be performing a portion of their 2022 UIL marching show entitled Sands Through the Hourglass, A Journey Through Time. New members of the summer are Coulter Stroud and Peyton Person. Marchers of the summer are Mark Rangel Jr. and Melina Tavares. Leader of the summer is Abby Reiner. Color guard member of the week is Vanessa Perez. And section of the summer is the color guard.
The Navarro Panther Network would like to thank the Panther Posse and the following diamond sponsors for supporting Navarro ISD and this broadcast: Aaron's Dock and Marine Construction, Advanced Electrical Services, AFC Lease Service, Ameritex Pipe, Bar J Granite, Big League Car Wash, Black Castle Industrial Contracting, Birch Law Firm, CL Concrete, CEMEX, Claycomb Associates Architects, Clausen and Winters LLC, D&D Texas Outfitters, Intersol, First Commercial Bank, First United Bank, Seguin, Freiheit Country Store, Fagway Construction, Goldsco Concrete, Guadalupe County Farm Bureau Insurance, Guadalupe Regional Medical Center or Construction, Kirby's Corner, Luland Chevrolet Buick GMC. And then Micah Reynolds, Miller & Miller Insurance, Miss Tristan Foundation, Oakwell Private Wealth Management, Pecan Country Chiropractic, Perry Homes, Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, Redbird Construction, Rocket Aircraft Services, Sage Energy, Sign Crafters Incorporated, Summit Group, Texas Capital Bank, Texas Tractor Country, TKG Custom Homes, TMT Solutions, Mandrill Energy, Vendetta AC. And a special thanks to Monticello Art Film Design for the production of this broadcast. Go Panthers!
The Diamondheads are under the field direction of Lieutenant Kimora Flores, Lieutenant J.C. Dominguez, First Lieutenant Armani Munoz, Lieutenant Colonel Leah Garcia, and Colonel Haley Ramirez. The Officer of the Week is Annie Howell. The Diamondette of the Week is Alexis Pimentel. The Spirit Award this week goes to Abigail Rios. The Diamondettes are directed by Mrs. Nicole Phillips and Miss Shayna Kaiser. The Diamondettes will now perform their palm routine. We're not going to take it. Ladies and gentlemen, 2022-2023 Navasota High School Diamondettes.
That was true. I Nancy want to make my Roblox avatar. And have anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, for this portion of your halftime entertainment, Navasota ISD is proud to present the Navasota High School Rattler Band. The Rattler Band is under the field direction of drum majors Emily LeBlue and Megan Poindexter. Tonight, the band will perform the first movement of their 2022 production titled Thor's Hammer. Rattler Nation, on your feet for the Navasota High School fight song.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Where the Panthers are playing Navasota, and it seems like the Navasota Rattlers have the edge right now, 34-14. I guess a little more than the edge. This is Hank Dieter. I'm Hank Dieter, and I've got Scott Kibbe joining us for halftime stats. And Lance is over there getting his headset on. So, Lance, you there with us?
I'm here.
All right. Now, Scott, thanks for joining us again. So, let me know what you got going on for the stats. If you we can get you a little light there.
All right. Run down the Navarro line, 10 first downs, 31 rushes, 142 yards, 31 passing yards on 1 out of 4 attempts, 3 punts for an average of 31.6. They did not fumble, 5 penalties for 25 yards. Leading rusher was an all with 4 for 51. Diego Chapa had 12 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. For Navasota, 7 first downs, 15 rushes, 236 yards, 48 passing yards on 3 out of 5 attempts, 1 punt for 36 yards, 1 fumble, did not lose it, 7 penalties, 59 yards, 10 return yards. Scott, leading rusher, obviously for Navasota, 6 carries, 171 yards.
Wow.
3 touchdowns. Taylor, 4 for 68, 2 touchdowns. 3 one-play drives for Navasota in that half.
Yeah.
It reminds you of Whittington when a couple of
Yeah.
years we played Cuero.
Yeah, where just go and it's not just one back.
Yeah.
Got 2 backs, but DeAndre Scott has been the performer thus far tonight. But on defense too, you got to say that when you see Powell out there, wearing that 0, he's all over the field defensively, just unbelievable.
He really is, and it's just a real problem that the Panthers can't do much outside. They have to do everything inside. That's what Navasota anticipates. It's the Panthers' strength,
Right.
but you get a little predictable, and it's hard, especially if you're going to try to make a comeback and you're going to need some big plays.
Right.
That's what Navasota's coaches would want, is to just limit Navarro to that inside game, because they're just not able to do anything with that speed.
All right, Scott. So predictions for the second half.
Oh,
Lance, we'll talk to you in just a minute.
Better jump on. Better get a stop on Navasota in that first series. You got to find something. Bringing in the number 9 Guerra and gave him a little bit of a start.
Right.
So you hope somebody will do that. But you can score. You're down. If you stop the first series, score. You're down 2 touchdowns. Get a break. This can be a football game.
You got 2 stops and 2 scores.
Yeah.
We're right there.
Yeah.
So that.
We've seen them do it before.
Yeah, that's all I can say. I keep going back to the Gonzalez game 3 years ago. Excuse me. But I seen it go back 3 years ago in 2019 when we see that. Maybe it was the season 2018.
It was Blunt's very first game at Navarro. Yeah.
And
it was at Gonzalez. I remember that game.
No, it was at home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. But we did get behind on that away game as well that you're talking about. But we had to come away with Euler De Leon making a big run that won us the game.
We did.
we'll see. 2 stops, 2 scores. I think we're back in it. If we don't get those 2 stops, we're not in it.
Yeah,
So
you got to make some stops. We
Right.
had 1 stop in that half.
okay. Well, thank you for joining us. You can always listen to, or always see Scott Kibbe's articles in the Seguin Gazette. So check those out on Sunday, right? They'll have it out on Sunday. Okay. Well, look for that and look for his Facebook page as well. So, all right. Thank you, Scott. And now back to our play-by-play guy. Hey, Mr. Lance Blackburn. So, Lance, what are your predictions for this next half, and what would you like to see?
Well,
I mean, I know what we'd like to see, the Panthers win, but
well, I
in
think
specific.
I think for the Panthers to pull this off, I think we're going to have to get a couple turnovers, Hank.
Right.
Maybe you get creative. We're going to kick off. Do you pull the onside?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a thought.
I mean, it doesn't matter if they get the ball at the 20, the 25, 30, 35, or even the 40, I think. And if you don't stop them, then, on those 1-play drives,
Right.
I mean, the Panthers are, they're dead in the water. So I don't see a problem with trying it, but maybe not this time. Maybe, you could, or, you could go back at halftime and say, hey, we're going to do this. This is how we're going to do it. And then come out and do it. But, I would bet that Navasota is going to expect it. So I would try to get it on, one of the other kick, if we ever get a chance to kick off again. And that's the other question. Will we be able to score and be able to kick off again? So your point might be exactly right. If you don't do it now, you may not be able to do it later.
And that may be right. Maybe you do surprise them. I think, obviously, we've got to stop the run. We've got to figure out a stopgap there. I think if we could stop the run, slow them down, our pass defense has actually been really, really solid.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of a few. I mean, there was that drop pass.
There was.
That we saw.
There was.
And that's still concerning because they're running the ball so well. And if, I will tell you that if Clifton Love, that was the open receiver, I mean, doesn't flat out drop the ball, poor soul. I'm not trying to pick on him, but if he doesn't, I mean, it's, over with the Panthers, because that was that same series, if you remember.
Yes.
That they were stopped. They didn't even gain a yard in that series. And the Panthers got it, drove the ball down methodically, go down and score on a nice, I believe it was like a 78-yard drive that the Panthers had on that series, and just took it down the field and really just ran up the gut, and but then they were deflated by, Navasota, big run by Devontae Scott getting inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. And then they end up taking it in for a score.
They did. Yes. So I would say the only way really to come back in the game for the most part would be, we got to get a couple turnovers or breaks, or an onside kick.
Right.
Or a fumble on a kickoff. That's going to be it. But hey, we've seen stranger things happen. We do have a full half of football. This is high school football, and so don't count the Panthers out.
Okay. Well, I want to tell you what. Before the Panthers come out here, we'd like to take a quick break and go to a break. So I want to say this before we go out. You're watching Navarro Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse.
The Navarro Panther Network would like to thank the Panther Posse and the following diamond sponsors for supporting Navarro ISD and this broadcast: Aaron's Dock and Marine Construction, Advanced Electrical Services, AFC Lease Service, Ameritex Pipe, Bar J Granite, Big League Car Wash, Black Castle Industrial Contracting, Birch Law Firm, CO Concrete, CEMEX, Claycomb Associates Architects, Clausen and Winters LLC, D&D Texas Outfitters, Intersol, First Commercial Bank, First United Bank, Seguin, Fryheit Country Store, Fagway Construction, Gulls Cove Concrete, Guadalupe County Farm Bureau Insurance, Guadalupe Regional Medical Center or Construction, Kirby's Corner, Lulen Chevrolet Buick GMC. And then Micah Reynolds, Miller & Miller Insurance, Miss Tristan Foundation, Oakwell Private Wealth Management, Pecan Country Chiropractic, Barry Homes, Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, Redbird Construction, Rocket Aircraft Services, Sage Energy, Sign Crafters Incorporated, Summit Group, Texas Capital Bank, Texas Tractor Country, TKG Custom Homes, TMT Solutions, Mandrill Energy, Vandetta AC. And a special thanks to Monticello Art Film Design for the production of this broadcast. Go Panthers!
We are live back here in Navasota. Ready for the second half. The score is the Navasota Rattlers 34. Our Navarro Panthers 14.
Well, the Panthers are coming out, and let's hope they're fired up and ready to go, because this, it's a game of halves. I've always said that here today and in the past, that, you can forget about the first half, just flush it. But you do learn from your mistakes. And now I think the Panthers, all they have to do is come alive here and do what they did on that drive, is just grind it out and get after it. Defense, though, is going to win you championship. So tonight, defense has to step up in order to win this game.
Correct. Yes. 34 points and a half is usually not a recipe for a win, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna come out here in the second half, and we've made some adjustments, I'm sure, on the defensive side of the ball, and
right.
And Navasota is gonna receive the ball here to start the second half. Again, they leave one person, DeAndre Scott, number 11, senior, back. Which leaves a huge gap on each side of him. If we could just hit the gap,
right. But they're bunched up. They're ready for an onside, so there won't be any surprise there. Real quick, Lano Yellow Jackets beating Gerald 27-19, but the biggest surprise tonight has been Cuero, and Cuero's up big time 20. Oh. Right, check that out. I might have to change that, but go ahead.
So we kick it deep. It does bounce, and he does fumble it. He picks it up. He's about the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, and he is tackled. Flag comes in late. Landon Taylor with the tackle. Nice tackle by Landon. They turned him back inside. Let's see what the flag is. The other thing that I saw is Wimberley at the half is up 14-7 on the Canyon Lake Hawks.
All right. Cuero, what I was getting at is 28-7 over the El Campo Ricebirds. And that's a battle of a 4A Division I with the Ricebirds, and then Division II, the Cuero Gobblers. Thank goodness, though, Cuero is over there in Region 3 now, but we play him next week. So
we do.
Panthers better wake up here in Navasota right now.
So it looks like we do have a penalty on and on.
Yeah, it was a personal foul. Yeah.
Which is going to back him up, Hank, about to the, 12, 13 yard line.
Right.
Shotgun. He brings it back. He does hand it straight up the middle again. It's DeAndre Scott. And a nice tackle by Bryce Naw.
Wow.
But he does gain about 10 yards on the play.
One thing I've seen tonight that I haven't seen from the Panthers in a while is missed tackles. I hate calling out players, but, Tolliver had a chance to bring him down within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage and slipped through his arm. So we haven't seen that too often by our Panther defense.
Oh, so we've got another flag.
Looks like it's going to be a false start.
So first down from the 19 before the flag.
Well, the Matadors are keeping pace with the Alamo Heights Mules. It's 25-21. And then Marion Bulldogs 21-7 over the Hondo Owls right now. And they're all in the third quarter from what I could tell, or halftime.
The Sinton Pirates playing tied up in the first quarter with Beeville Jones. So a little bit of a surprise there. So in the shotgun, he does hand off again. That nice tackle by Diego Chapa off the edge.
Yeah, Chapa was right there waiting for him. Took and wrapped up, took his legs out, did what you want to do. Didn't allow the runner, in this case, Scott, to get to the outside and break it up the middle. But we do have a player down on the field. So what we'll do is take this time, though, while the medical staff, as the athletic trainers, tend to the player, is that this whole broadcast couldn't be done with Monocell Film Art Design, their production group that's helped us out, and they're training our students to learn audio visual. Isn't that so cool?
That is awesome, and you're exactly right. If it wasn't for Monocell production, we would not be here tonight, Hank.
We wouldn't be on the air, that's for sure.
We have actually pulled this together in about a week and a half, and kudos to them. They have been a big help. Yourself as well. We're here from the 21-yard line. He's back. Oh, he gets hit. It looks like he was doing a little window shopping, and the Panthers grab him and sack him, which is maybe exactly what we need, the secondary with a great coverage.
Yeah, and this time, Jesse didn't really have anywhere to go because the collapse of the pocket was in the lanes for the defensive lineman. And, 74 that was going off the field, these are new to me too, some of these players. So I'm still getting used to them as well.
And
but, I don't see a number on our roster for that number. So maybe, Lance, you have a play on the field, but there is some discussion on the field. So let's see what we get.
It's going to be half of the goal. Downhill. Third down.
So that intentional, that wasn't intentional grounding. I didn't catch the call, but
I couldn't quite understand the call, but I know it's half the distance to the goal, and Navasota is now backed up to their own 13-yard line, which makes it third and
very long.
Very long. They've got to reach the Panther 34. So
yeah. I would say, third down and a bus ride.
So it almost looks like a blitz. Hayden Tolliver straight up the middle, and he slips, dumps it out to the back there.
Oh, man.
DeAndre Scott and Tolliver shoot almost like he shot out of a cannon.
Oh, man. And it was a play. And, boy, the physicality, we talked about it.
Yes.
That's what that was lacking. And we're seeing it right now by the Panthers on the first series as Navasota has went backwards, essentially. They was it one running play and the rest again 2 pass plays, minus the penalty. But wow, the Panthers really stepped it up on defense.
They did, and Navasota's punter is about 3 yards from the end line, so this could be a great opportunity. Bryce Nall is back. He kicks it. He's gonna let it bounce, and it's gonna bounce up to about the 36-yard line.
I'll give that one a big because you don't get those breaks every day, but that was caused by the defense, and you put that pressure on the quarterback, and it was talked about in the scouting reports is you got to get pressure on the quarterback, and we finally saw it after Navasota got themselves in a hole, but it was the run defense first that created that, and here we go with the Panthers.
Here we go. Bryce under center again, running behind Barry on the right side, right guard, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards, it looks like.
Wow.
Down to about the 32-yard line of Navasota. So that's going to make it about second and looks like 6.5.
Yeah. And that's perfect. That's exactly what you want to have is on that first down play, you got to get ahead of change. No false starts. We saw that, we gain 5 and then we go back.
Again, no, that's Chapa straight up the middle.
And he will go about 2 yards. And he was moving when he hit that line of scrimmage.
He was.
It might have sounded like this.
And who's that remind us of?
Oh, we got several players, but old Brody Whitson reminds me of one. He's at the Air Force Academy right now. And give
Brody,
a shout out to Brody,
maybe-
and then also Euler.
Bueller,
And there's many more. But
maybe Jake Wright
yeah.
back in the day.
Yes, sir.
Oh, looks like
Well, they didn't. They allowed the player because there's a substitution, but they're calling a false start. The center didn't snap the ball, and I think they were going to try to catch the player on the field that was coming off. But if there was no substitutions by the offense, then defense is not allowed to substitute either. And the Panthers were trying to catch Navasota on the field, and here we go. The 3rd down and long now after being right in line to be ready to go 4th and 1, if anything. So now the Panthers are 3rd and long.
so about 3rd and 9 from the 35-yard line of Navasota.
This is mistakes, and some of them are mental, but if the Panthers could get there and get it right, here we go.
Bryce under there. Chambers off the right side. He's churning. He picks up a decent gain.
Yeah.
Makes it a manageable 4th down.
Yeah, and 4th down, and in this particular situation, you're down in 20 points, and you're on their side of the field. It's at the 31. It's a no-brainer. So we'll see how this goes. Well, Panthers now take that timeout.
I do see a flag on the field. It looks like another Panther false start, which again is gonna back him up 5. So it would have been 4th and 5. Now we're back at the 36-yard line, 4th and 10 for the Panthers, which, man, this was a big opportunity for the Panthers to take advantage of, and we still have an opportunity here, but let's see what we got.
Here we go. Now, timeout.
It almost looks like we were trying to draw them off sides.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's one of those is this the old basketball play where you're looking to see, okay, how did they line up on us when we were in this formation? And I think that's where we're at, because this is right now a big play. I mean, there's just no doubt. It's a big play. I hope we could wake them up. Hope the sound gets through. Well,
so what do you do, Hank? 4th and 10.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot you can do other than if you take and use the, play action, and they're going to be ready for it. But I think you bootleg again and put Bryce Knoll out there. If they saw what I saw in that first half, the green grass will be on the wide side of the field.
I agree. I think I get Knowles a gifted runner and a gifted passer, and it's almost to the point where you give him the choice, right?
Right. Let him roll out. And we saw Nick Billings do that last year quite often.
We did, with success. Bryce under center. He flips it out. Oh, it looks like a halfback pass.
Oh.
And he throws it as a little short. It looked like they were going to try to hit Landry Blackburn on a 9 route, but Chambers was hit as he threw the ball.
And guess by who?
Number 0.
Yeah.
Mr. Powell.
Mr. Powell showed up again, and he's cramping. I'm watching him down on the field. He's stiff-legged. If you see him come off the field, he's walking with his legs stiff. So because if he bends his knees and pushes his ankles down to where his foot is flexing up, he is going to cramp, and that's what was happening there if you watch him on the sideline.
So Navasota takes over, 36-yard line, fakes it, hit bootleg, he runs right and has some room, gets a nice gain, about 8 yards, taken down again by number 74, which I apologize. We don't have a number 74 on our roster, so I am at a loss who that is. But
He's been playing well.
But he has been playing well, and made several tackles now.
Yeah. Now, go ahead.
2nd and 2. Oh, Bo Brumley back and that.
Wow. That was again Clifton Love, who was the intended receiver, and he just drops it.
I mean, he was open probably for a first down and a nice gain.
Right.
But again, hits him in the hands and drops it.
Yeah, and you don't see that every day. One thing I wanted to say earlier in the play before, some of the receivers out on blocks have been doing a much better job than anticipated. The receivers have been blocking well on the corners and allowing some of the, in this case, Jesse and also Scott and Taylor to be able to get to the outside. So I'm sorry I was talking while the official was talking.
And it looks like they were called for a illegal motion, I want to say, and backs him up 5.
Yeah.
So the drop really didn't matter. He probably obviously would have been penalized anyway. So it backs him up to their own 39-yard line. So it's going to make it about 2nd and 7.
So Marion only up by a touchdown in the fourth quarter, 21-14. Cuero up still, 28-7. That it shows still halftime, and that may have been moved up, but I'm not sure. Wimberley 14-7 at halftime. Kenyon Lake, made a run right at the end. And then you have Cameron Yo and Lago Vista. Cameron Yo 36 over Lago Vista 22, but that's actually better score than I thought it would be.
So handoff to the right side. Again, 23 with the carry. Again, a lot of room on that right side of the Panther defense.
Taylor takes the ball and just finds a little seam. Again, the blocking that's taking place on the outside with the corners and outside linebackers, allowing the running backs of Navasota to kind of just weave their way in and out where they need to go. So this is again a bit surprising, but not unheard of, as we are seeing the Navasota Rattlers take the number 10 team of Division II here and put them to the test.
So shotgun again, handoff to Taylor to the left side. He's got a nice tackle there.
Yeah, Rangel in there taking them low, and if you didn't notice, Minor now is the quarterback for the Hudson Minor for the Navasota Rattlers is in. He played a lot. He's considered more of the passing quarterback.
Offense, number 8.
Holding on number 8. Holding on Jadavian Graves Jr. for the Rattlers. Looks like a receiver. He's a slot receiver. And backs him up, and it's going to be close. Looks like about going to be first down and 19 from the Navasota 48-yard line.
All right, so you've got Minor back in that pistol, so let's see if he throws the ball here. Nope, he hands it off.
Hands it off again. Same play. Oh, he gets around the corner. He is hit, but
the ball.
Oh, it looks like he stripped the ball. I'm not sure who that was.
I mean, he just took it right out of his hands, and that ball maybe.
There is a conference.
Yeah, they're going to see if he was in bounds at the time that the ball was taken out of the hands of the running back. Literally just stripped out of his hands as he's running.
Taylor with the fumble.
Yeah.
The officials are conferencing.
So Merrick Taylor had the strip, but now the question is, was it out of bounds or is it going to be retaining the whoa, man. Panthers don't get a break on that one.
Tough to see.
I could tell. Yep, the offense stays out for Navasota. The Rattlers still retain possession, and it's going to be second down coming up here after that almost strip or fumble recovery by the Panthers.
After the run gain of 11.
So we have the score right now, 34-14, with Navasota leading here in the third quarter with 4 minutes and 23 seconds remaining.
So he picked up about 11 yards on that. Second and 8, handoff to the left side again. Navasota is determined to just continue to run the ball against the Panther defense. And he picks up probably 3 or 4 yards. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it's right around that 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, right in that territory. It still needs to be, defense has to step up here for the Panthers. Miner's still out there as quarterback.
Big play here for the Panthers. Handoff straight up the middle. Oh, he's off to the races. He's gone.
Right. And again, the blocking down the field. Now you could possibly call it a hold, but it looked like, the receivers got in tight with the hands, and the Panthers wanted a hold call, but they didn't get it. And Devontae Scott goes in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. So, sorry, I said Devontae, but it was DeAndre
Scott
that
Junior.
Junior that gets in the end zone. So, man,
hold down, kick up, kick good. 41 for the Rattlers and 14 for our Panthers.
Yeah, this is now not being able to score on that possession that the Panthers did have. It's on that 4th down play really hurts you because you can't stop Navasota tonight, and so it's going to be a long bus ride home if things don't happen quick, and they'd have to happen real quick with 3 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the third quarter. So the Rattlers here at the pit have lived up to their billing here at home today.
They have. The Panthers have been snake bit.
That's exactly right.
For the most part tonight.
And the Panthers, I've seen it before. One game really bad, the next game, they come out looking, like world beaters, and that could happen even against Cuero, as Cuero's, beating a Division I team tonight. That's who we play next week in Cuero.
Which it's at half in El Campo, 28-7. The Gobblers are up on the Ricebirds. San Antonio Davenport up 13-0 against Victoria West. Almost half there. So the kickoff goes deep. We field it.
He muffed the punt. Muffed the kick, and then but called fair catch, and picks it back up. And then there's a player down on the field, I believe, for the Rattlers. So there's going to be a player timeout called, or official timeout called for a player. Maynard New Tech, one of the district foes, which is no surprise here. They're over the man, I just lost it because my phone's not working correctly here, but they're over the Austin Eastside Panthers, which Eastside Panthers are back in a program. 38-8 is Maynard New Tech. And the Llano Yellow Jackets, from what I see, is it's still showing at halftime. I don't think that is the case, but we'll see. Again, the Gobblers, I show they're still up, again, as you stated.
I have to mention the biggest probably upset in the state was last night.
Yeah.
Was the New Braunfels Unicorns upset the Denton Ryan Raiders 34-33, and they came back from quite a big of a deficit, and it was quite a game.
Yeah, you got to give kudos to the mystical, magical creatures of the Unicorns winning in that game against the Raiders.
You did.
I mean, I would bet they sprinkled a lot of that dust that they have up in those horns and somehow got it out there because, man, I'm telling you. And that was something similar happened last year against Judson where the Raffles came back and won it with a field goal
Correct.
at the very end. And
Correct.
wow, they're making this kind of something that happens quite often now, playing these tight games. They just get behind a little bit and come back. Now, maybe if we can, get some of that magic dust off the horns of the Unicorns and sprinkle them out here on the field, maybe we could do something here for the Panthers tonight. Because, I mean, the Panthers need something to get them really moving. I mean, and they're not a bad team. One game doesn't define a team.
No.
And so
No.
you can see this as going, okay, well, the Panthers are no. Maybe Navasota comes out and becomes one of those teams that they've done well in the past and they've won 2 state championships.
Right.
So you just don't know until you play the game, so to speak.
Well,
preseason, you could have all the rankings in the world, but it doesn't matter until you play the game.
correct. And we all know Navasota is not short on talent or
That's right.
speed. No, under center. It fumbles.
Oh, no.
Oh, goodness. It looks like a fumbled snap. I think the Panthers got it back.
Yeah. And we have looks like we had a different center come in. And so it was recovered.
It was recovered and fumbled forward, which
you can on first and second down. Third or fourth, you cannot.
so it looks like 2nd and 4 from the 31. Bryce going to throw. Looks like he's got a receiver, Colton Schulke, but overthrows him.
Yeah, he has a little bit strong arm tonight. I mean, actually, you'd like to see that at least he's not underthrowing his players, and there is a player down on the field for the Panthers as well.
Schulke looked like he was open. He had some separation. The pass was just a little bit long.
So now the student or the trainers are attending to the Navarro player, and do we have any other announcements that you can go over, Lance, that we'd like for the crowd to know out there or the audience?
That the big thing is with the Navarro Panther Network, if we could kind of go back to that, is
yes, sir.
We're building this, and we're building a tradition here at the school that we feel like is going to come with the growth of Navarro, and if strengthens us for the future. It not only supports the school, the students, the faculty, the parents, the family, but really supports the community. And we hope you're enjoying the actual first official inaugural broadcast
of the Navarro Panther Network, NPN.
And if you want to make a donation, we gladly accept your donation. It goes straight to the benefit of the kids here at Navarro High School and the ISD. And we're hoping to incorporate not only the high school, but the intermediate and the elementary schools as well. Bryce back under center. He hands back off to Chapa. Chapa's fighting hard. 3rd down.
Colton Schulke came in for quarterback there as Bryce Nall was off on the sideline there on that last play. Got shaken up a little bit, but he looks fine on the sideline.
So 4th and 3 for the Panthers at their own 32. 2:25 left in the 3rd quarter. Looks like the Panthers are gonna go for it. Oh, they snap it short.
Chapa's got some,
and he's got some room, and it looks like he may take it to the house. No, he's brought down by the safety who catches him.
Yeah,
Navasota 28-yard box.
Woo, I got to give that one a big. So now the Panthers have been able to, revive themselves a little bit here. I mean, being down 41-14 with 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, it sounds like a big, tall chore, but let's see what the Panthers can do.
Schulke under center. And there is
Oh, they didn't. And they were trying to catch a player again coming off the field, and it seems like there was not communication between the center and quarterback, and everybody else was ready to go to get. The player was still on the field for Navasota, and it would have been. I guess they just called it a no play. I mean, if the ball wasn't set or spotted, maybe that's what they're calling, because the official has to, blow the whistle for begin on a play.
Schulke up to the line. He hands it. Chambers coming around the corner, around the right guard again. He fights, gets about 3 or maybe 2 yards.
And there's a little bit of extracurricular activity going on here, and so the Panthers are not in this position too often, and they're fighting back a little bit. So let's see what they can do, Lance. I'm willing to see them finish this game strong, no matter where it ends up on the scoreboard. You would like to see the Panthers finish strong.
Absolutely. First game of the season, you want to see them fight till the end. Again, Panthers up to the line. Schulke underneath. Hands off. Landon Taylor. Oh, he's flipped up in the air. Nice tackle there by the middle linebacker, Chris Thompson.
Yeah,
the junior.
Yeah, Chris Thompson just had a bead for Taylor, and I was able to take him low. And Taylor, though, kept going forward, so he still got yards on the play. Not as many as he would like, but still was able to do that. And it looked like he popped right back up after that play.
Going to set up about a 3rd and 6 from the Navasota 23. Hands off. I think that's Nick Swartzlosey.
They're showing the ball comes loose.
The ball comes loose. I'm not sure if it was down or Navasota seems to think that it's not, and they ran it back.
Nicholas Castaneda runs it back, but did they say was he down? Because the running back that time was number 9, Caden Guetta.
Okay.
That ran the ball, but they're saying that he was down before the ball was stripped. So no touchdown for Navasota. Thank goodness. Oh, I'm ready to see the Panthers get in that end zone. Let's go. 35-14, Cuero over El Campo right now.
Oh.
And same score, Wimberley and Canyon Lake, 14-7 Wimberley with 10 minutes remaining in that third quarter.
So a lot of time left there. So it looks like it's still 3rd and 6. The officials are still conferencing about the 20-yard line of Navasota.
Yeah, did he gain, that before he went back, where if there's forward progress.
So it is 4th down. I did think that think that he did gain a little bit, and they do move the chains up. So it looks like about 4th and 3.5 from the 20-yard line of Navasota. Schulke under center. And it looks like that time has run out in the third quarter. So we will move to the fourth quarter with the Panthers on the Navasota 20-yard line. Driving. What do you do here, Hank? What do you do? Yeah, you're 4th and 4, 3.5.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you could do if you weren't in one particular style of offense. You'd like to mix your offense a little bit. We haven't seen the Panthers even spread out a little bit, even under their slot T formation. So I would like to take a couple of guys out, go twins left, and still have your A right, and see if you can make things happen. By spreading it out just a little bit to make them think, hey, we're gonna see them pass the ball, and then come back with either a peanut play or go with some kind of the inside trap play, and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I like the quarterback rollout as well.
And with that possibility,
with an option of a run or a pass.
Old RPO, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Run pass option. So if you see that, you can see that going on to do you go to the wide side of the field or the short side of the field and hope that a receiver, you don't like to see a quarterback throw against the grain, but even if they roll out right and you get somebody in that back, flag pattern, and
Right.
on that back side, you might be able to sneak one in there in the back of the end zone.
All right, Schulke under center again. He hands off, and it looks like they've stopped the Panthers for no gain.
Yeah,
a little extracurricular.
Chapa had leaned way forward on that, and it's going to be close. So I think they're going to call for a measurement, but we do have another player down on the field. I believe it is a Panther. So again, we'll go back to the donations that you have, but I do have one other thing, Lance. Well, hopefully the staff attends to the player, which they are. And he's already up on his own accord, the player. But still, I wanted to announce that tomorrow night is the York Creek Volunteer Fire Department's barbecue.
Oh, yes.
And so, in a lot of our community is still out there in the Zorn area, me for one.
Right, right.
And we'd like to see, the community come out and support York Creek Volunteer Fire Department. They start serving at 5 tomorrow, and they will be there at 1101 and Derry Engler Road, right in that corner. And so we'd like to see the folks come out and support their local volunteer fire department.
And how much per plate, Hank?
I don't have that in front of me, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just
it does.
buy it.
Come out and support the fire department is always important.
And and really got to thank this year has been really tough on our firefighters out in Guadalupe County and in most of Texas.
Yes.
Because of the drought that we've faced. And so we really want to make sure we give a big shout out to our volunteer firefighters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So come out. If you're in the area, please come out and support that.
And remember, they're volunteers. They don't get paid. Good job by the Panthers there, stacking it up.
They handed off going left, and the Panthers really filled the gap and allowed about a 2-yard gain. I think that was Bo Brumley on the stop.
And Bo's had a pretty good game tonight overall. I mean, it's not one of those outstanding games, but he's been there constant. So
3rd and 2 from the 27-yard line. They do hand it again, and it's going to be close.
Yeah,
it looks like he's
where they're spotting it for forward progress. They're putting it at the 30, and the 30 would be enough as they would only have to get to the 29. So, Panthers didn't do a bad job.
Yeah, the Panthers are getting a little salty on the run.
Now let's see if we can get a stop here and go down and score quickly.
10:26 left in the 4th. Hand it off again, straight up the middle. And again, it's only about a 2-yard gain, straight up the middle. Let's see who. I want to say that was Lane. Oh, that was Nick Swartzlosey with the tackle. Comes up and fills the gap nicely.
Yeah, Nick, if from that outside linebacker spot, if we can get the aggressiveness here, and they play more like a safety or rover.
So he rolls out. Oh, it's deflected, and a nice play there by Jacob Gilbert.
Jacob Gilbert, he stands about 6'4" out there.
Yeah, he does.
He's a tall young man, and getting those big mittens up there makes a big difference. Makes a quarterback go, I got to get it over this guy. I didn't realize he was that tall, and it looked more like a surprise by Miner to say, he's a little bit taller than I expected. But guess who was out there too? The unnamed man on the roster, number 74.
You know what? I've had a barrage of text messages.
Oh,
Ian
wow.
Palmer is number 74 at this point. Oh, and Matt Richardson.
Oh, nice.
Calls him up, and Matt Richardson's motor is unlike no other I have ever met. And he makes a heck of a play there.
And we'll give him a big.
He slings him to the ground, and it feels like the Panthers are gaining some momentum here with with the run defense.
And now, believe it's only the second punt of the game for Navasota. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're right, and they're from the 32-yard line. It's 4th and 8. The Panthers are playing, looking for the fake, but they do kick it. It is a low kick, line drive. It is fielded, and he returns it for about 3 yards, which was Colton Schulke.
Yeah, Colton Schulke did a good job of just holding on to the ball, didn't let it bounce by him, because if he lets that ball go,
Yes,
it would probably roll inside the 10-yard line. So good job by Schulke.
absolutely. And you know what? I've heard one time from an old coach that what do you look for in a punt returner? Just someone who can catch the ball
Yeah.
and not let it bounce and roll for 20 or 30 yards
Right.
and has the confidence to do that. So that was a
Yeah.
great job by Schulke on that. He stays in at quarterback.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, you don't want somebody like that to have that deer in the headlight look. You know, that you're scared
Yes.
every time they're going to catch the ball. They start looking upfield as opposed to the ball.
38-yard line. He hands it straight up the middle. I think that was Chapa. Yes,
Yep.
it is. And a nice gain straight up.
Yeah, the Panthers just have to be a little bit, show some urgency. Now we're starting to see the cramping and things that we thought we'd see. I believe that looks more to be a cramp than an actual, severe injury or anything of that nature. So,
Correct.
or let's pray that's the case. It's just a cramp. But
Yeah.
they hurt. Don't get me wrong. Now, cramps aren't like, oh my God, I was one of the worst players, when I played at Navarro back in 1982. And, but, that was, one of those things that we always had to deal with is because we went both ways all the
All
time.
the time. Well,
Yeah.
1982, Hank, would y'all have like 20 people in your graduating class or?
Well, 25 to be
Okay.
exact.
All right.
So
Yeah, I mean, I
you're close.
I figured it was close.
The year before had, I think, 19. So, and sometimes you have a little bigger classes, smaller class, but somewhere around 20 usually would be the class size for those days when we had, just sometimes barely 100 in high school.
Right.
Yeah. Look at Navarro now. I mean, quite a bit more.
We got about
We're over at 2,100 in the entire district, and we'd have probably only about 400 in the entire district back in 1982.
wow. Yeah, big difference, right? About 650 in high school now.
So, right.
Schulke, he fumbles the snap. He does jump on it though.
Yeah, and we'd like to see that, that at least the fumble, don't get me wrong, but to be enough to say, hey, I got to get the ball and not just let it go and don't go get it. You see players do that, like especially NFL quarterbacks,
Yes.
I don't know why, but they get the big dollars, and if they fumble the ball, they sit back and go, oh, well, we'll let somebody else get it.
So the Panthers are at their own 42-yard line. Schulke under, hands off to Chapa. Chapa runs, nice hole. He feels about.
Yeah, and
he gets almost, I think, is a little short of a first down, but man, they are the Panthers have woken up a little bit on the offensive line. I saw the left side completely blew the entire Navasota D line back on that one.
Well, we got another wake up call here. Well, we'll see.
Handoff, Chapa. Not on that one.
Oh my!
That was 4th down and 1, and he was met in the hole by number 21 again, the middle linebacker,
Yeah,
Chris Thompson, who is an absolute beast and a nose for the ball.
yeah, and 65 in there too. Tyler Deal was in there as well, and Chapa is a little slow right now to get up.
Well, if we
Trying to get some score updates
get
here.
some score updates. Last night, the Smithville Tigers had a big blowout win. We're going to play Smithville here in a couple weeks. 56-0 over the Austin Travis Rebels.
There's team still called the Rebels.
I guess so.
I guess so.
I don't have anything against it, but I haven't heard of it too often. Now, Seguin Matadors have taken the lead, what it shows with 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the third quarter, 28-25 over Alamo Heights. Now, remember, Alamo Heights has some players suspended, so
They do.
so Seguin, hey, a win's a win, though. You go after Alamo Heights.
So Lavernia hands it off to number 24, the sophomore, Rutherford, and he fights his way down for about a 7-yard gain.
Now, Lano is still over Gerald. Gerald's in our district. It's 27-19 at the end of the third quarter. So we'll see how that goes. And now it's the end of the third quarter for Seguin and Alamo Heights. The Hondo Owls and Marion Bulldogs going at it 21-20. Marion still leading.
Handoff again to 24. He fights his way through the center, picks up a first down straight up the middle of the field and all the way down to the Navarro 32-yard line. Another score I see here, which was an old rival for our Panthers, is Lavernia Bears. They have taken the lead over the Burnett Bulldogs, 25-22 in the third quarter.
Yeah, now Burnett is been a powerhouse over the years, and that's kind of surprising to see.
I've been watching that one, and Burnett's has been leading the entire game, but we do play Lavernia here in 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, he's spinning, and again, 24. There's got to be a hold out on the
all over the place. Yeah,
I mean, there's more yellow laundry than.
Yeah, there's a lot of laundry on the field there.
And it is holding, just as we suspected.
So, yeah, the officials are calling it. I mean, they have been all night. They've been pretty consistent, I have to say, in their calls tonight. But for the most part, everybody can disagree, agree to disagree when it comes to official calls.
So 2nd down and 14. They are on the Panther 34-yard line. Again, there's 5:52 left in the game. The Rattlers are up 41-14 on our Panthers. He's in the shotgun. He does hand off to the left side. He's going to pick up about 3. And again, that's the sophomore, number 24, Artavian Rutherford.
Yeah, and the Panthers now have, they have the ability right now, and they're down 41-14. I would think, here with 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, it would be a time to see what other players can do. I mean, use this time for evaluation,
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't see it worth putting, a lot of your starters in to do anything other than to evaluate.
He's back to pass. Oh, he drops the ball. It's a fumble, but he turns around and picks it up and actually gains about a yard.
Yeah, and that was amazing to see. I didn't know if the ball went forward, even if he was flinching it, I just couldn't tell. I mean, I would have called it as an incomplete pass. So
yeah.
Well, either way, it doesn't matter because where they're marking the ball, it's 4th down and 10. So it says no consequence.
Right, exactly. And it's 4th and 10. And you're right. It almost looked like he fumbled the ball forward and then he advanced it. And I thought if you fumbled the ball forward,
and
you can't be the player that advances it.
I think as long as you're the same player, know, so, but it still went back to
shotgun. He does dump it off and, to again, Rutherford. Rutherford is met by number 9 head on. Nice play by Caden Guerrero.
Yeah, I'm watching a lot of the they're starting to become a little bit more and more extracurricular. So, both sidelines I think need to really, the coaches need to, talk to the players saying, hey, look, let's not let this get out of control. Keep your composure and keep your class. Let's be a class act and let's finish this game. I mean, I'm not saying don't take up for yourself and that sort of thing, but don't be the instigator.
That's right. And so we've got about 4 minutes, 4:08 left. Panthers take over on their 31. Hand off. I think that's Colton Chambers, but we'll see. No, that's actually
Xavier Cropper, right?
Xavier Cropper with the looks like no gain. And I do see, just as you said, Hank, we've got some new players in the game.
Yeah. They're over here playing the Hay song. That's all I know. Hey, I
Right.
hear it in the background.
Schulke under center, 2nd and 10 from the 32, his own 32. He's going to throw it. He rolls out. He's got a guy wide open.
Yeah.
On the far sideline, he picks up about 11. And that is Xavier Cropper again. Nice catch and move.
Yeah. And the one thing I did like about the play, I don't know you saw the subtleness of that, but they faked the peanut. If you watch the action of the quarterback, as Schulke, he goes in and as the fullback's there, he drops his hand down like he's going to, wrap around, and he keeps going. And then I think that's what opened up Cropper.
So Schulke, 1st and 10 from the 42. He hands it to Landon Taylor, and he picks up about I think it looks about 5 yards up to about the 42. Or I'm sorry, 47-yard line.
Well, like I said, there's players that you can rotate in now that you want to take a little bit harder look at. And I think right now the Panthers are doing a good job of moving the ball.
2nd down, flags flying.
I think that was I think that was a double kind of where the lineman put the hand down and picked it up. Remember we were talking about back 1982? Well, we actually had that happen, but by accident, where our tight end puts his hand down, puts it in a pile of stickers because we played on, regular natural grass pasture fields.
Right, right.
And puts his hand down and picks his hand up and didn't reset. So the officials called a false start on us. And it was a critical play. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, come on. There's stickers here.
There's stickers in my fingers. Ref. So 2nd and 11 from the 41. Landon Taylor off the left side. He's going to pick up about 5 yards. Nice run. Good block out there. Sealed the edge very nicely.
Yeah, and the kick-out block was the key on that one. And, Taylor was able to get on the inside of that and cut it up. But he's got that long body and that lean, and that lean gave him that 2 or 3 yards.
So 3rd and about 7, and again, they stopped the play.
Timeout by the Panthers, I believe, on this one, as I saw the official on the other side.
So that's the 2nd timeout for the Panthers, it looks like.
Yeah, this is one of those nights where, the Panthers right now in a position to see, where they're at as far as inside. It's like
Yes.
we got to take a good hard look and see where you take it from here. Cuero next week. Cuero is one of those games to where you say, hey, we either, we do what we need to do and we take care of business next week, or we just come in not ready. And I think this Panther team will be ready no matter what.
I think
for next week. And, take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I can do this. I can do this. And it's all about confidence. And this team needs to gain that confidence. And it's just, they got to find it. And when they do, watch out.
Well, you can either lay down or you can fight.
Right. Get back on that horse, as they would say, right? If you fall down.
Schulke back to pass from his own 45. He's got it in the flat. It looks like Landon Taylor again. Nice gain.
Big, a lanky kind of guy, but makes that hesitation move work in his favor, and he gets all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Nice gain on the play, and that looked nice. Here comes the Panthers in a hurry up.
Again, hands it up the middle. Quick play.
And off number 9 up the middle.
Number 9, that was Caden Guerrero.
Yeah, Caden Guerrero.
Come in at fullback, it looks like.
Yeah, and he's done a good job of filling in for Chapa and getting fresh legs in there.
And that's what we talk about, stable of backs, just coming in and just grinding it out. And let's hope that the Panthers can find their rhythm and keep it going.
A minute 14 and counting. Schulke hands it off. Xavier Cropper off the right side. He's got a nice gain. He's down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, and you notice there's a player that's missing that was a sophomore last year, that's a junior this year. He hasn't been out on the field yet, and that's Antoine Mabane, the back that came in last year and helped put away Sinton in overtime, as he had a great second half of the season for the Panthers in district. And we don't see him tonight, and I hear that he's got a little bit of nagging injury, and Coach Blunt just is saying, hey, we'll play it safe.
Schulke back to pass. He's getting a little bit of pressure. He does throw it. His receiver, it almost looked like there was a little hand fighting down there, but no call. Was that Xavier Cropper again?
Yeah, and you got Schulke down, and he's back up. He hops back up. So that was one of those where, yeah, I mean, that could probably have gone either way, but you were exactly right. There was a lot of hand fighting. So
that was Caleb Garcia. I apologize. But it looked like there was a bunch of contact down there. I'm not saying it should have been a flag, but there was certainly and it looked like he was almost impeding a little bit, but the receiver to get to the ball.
Right. I totally agree with you, Lance. I'm not disagreeing. I just know that, it's like, when it comes to pass interference or those kind of calls, it's,
judgment all the way.
All the way. And you don't see a lot of them being called. So right now we have a injured player still down on the field, and the medical staff is attending to that player right now. So, any more announcements that we have about the Panthers posse and because we know that the Panther posse has their annual golf tournament, and I heard this year it went rather well.
So another record year for the Panther posse. $151,000 were raised for the school and athletics. And we gave a great shout out again, as we have all night, to our diamond sponsors. We couldn't do it without you. Not to discount our platinum and gold sponsors as well, but yes, another record year. Amazing contributions from our sponsors, and such a fun event. In one day to raise that kind of money for the school and for the kids and for the students and really for the community. So,
right. Well, thank y'all for doing that. That's much appreciated, and it's something that that has been going on for a very long time. Since what year was
this? Year was the 23rd year, and the great thing is we even have some old posse members that still play in the tournament. So
wow.
So Schulke back under, 4th down and 2. It looks like from the Navasota 25-yard line.
Taylor's under center. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Check that.
I'm sorry. Landon Taylor is under center.
So now this is a timeout that's been taken by the Panthers. And to get kind of things, because it is 4th down. You don't forget, but we got to tell people the situation that they may not know. But it is right now 41-14. We're here in the 4th quarter as the time was taken off the scoreboard, because they do the 1-minute countdown for the timeout. But there is, I believe, less than 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Panthers trailing 41-14. So this. I think Scott Kibbe came out with some optimism when we first talked in the pregame. He gave us a fun fact that the most lopsided opening win by the Panthers was against Medina Valley. I believe it was something like 56-0.
Right.
In that game. I was there. I believe we started. That was one of our first broadcasts, in fact. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Our first radio broadcast that I was a part of.
Awesome.
And so,
it was a big game for the Panthers playing against a bigger school, and everybody was excited about it, and it turned out great. Not so much tonight.
So he
Oh,
sneaks right up the middle. He actually landed Taylor again with the big body.
yeah, and he's easily going to get the first. He, even though Navasota was like, no, no, no way, So, um, so now the Panthers will have a first down and 10 coming
And
up.
they hand it off, goes to the left side. He's going to pick up about 8 yards on that.
Yeah, and Rangel did a good job of getting off to the left side and cutting it up the field quickly. So Panthers come out quickly. Oh no, that's the end of the ball game. Wow, that seemed quick.
It did. And so our final score here from Navasota tonight is going to be the Navasota Rattlers 41 and our Navarro Panthers 14. So, didn't end up quite how we wanted it to, but we do have another day and another week, and we'll see the Panthers. I will say the Navasota Rattlers have been gracious hosts. We've never played here before, Hank, and man, I am impressed not only with the people but the facilities and
thank God for an elevator.
And thank God for an elevator, right?
But anyhow, yes, I like to thank the students out there that are behind it, because we've had students all night tonight behind the computers, behind the cameras. And as soon as we can get credits put together for those students and that will run on the screen at the end of the games, we'll get those up in due time.
Correct.
But we definitely want to thank the students of the Audiovisual Club and Clay Scarborough for putting that all together. So,
yeah,
we'd like to do a little bit of, the post game, because we usually keep the post games kind of quick when it doesn't come out in the favor of the Panthers. But just to let you know that it was a pretty lopsided game, as the score would show. I just don't think the Panthers were physical enough overall, and made a few little. I didn't think they made a lot of major mistakes, but they made enough that it made a difference here and there. But generally speaking, I working on the false starts, I think those will get cleaned up.
Right.
I mean, that was probably the biggest mistake that we saw. Those pre-snap penalties are usually mental mistakes that can be corrected.
Right.
If not, things are going to change rather quickly. But the overall pace of the game, was not in favor of the Panthers. When you have one big play that opens everything up for the Navasota Rattlers as they take it in, and from one play out. And you're like, oh my goodness, we can't let the big plays. And there was way too many, big plays tonight that let Navasota, just pretty much walk away with it.
Right.
Hands down, they were the better team tonight. And then we're going to have to discuss, because we will need to take a break here, because we have to discuss our player of the game tonight.
Correct.
No matter what side it is, we don't always pick a Panther. So,
right.
This is one of those times where I think you're going to see it come from the Navasota side, in my opinion.
Right,
but,
right.
We'll have to discuss that, duke it out a little bit. I'm just joking, but we'll talk about it, and we're going to try to, get back to you in just a rather short period of time. We might have Scott Kibbe on the post game. We're just not quite sure if he'll make it over here from the stands, because he usually goes over and gets the interview from Coach Blunt after the game. So, but we'll be back after we get things together and we get all that done. So we'll cut to break here in just a moment. So you're watching Navarro Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse. We'll be right back. The Navarro Panther Network would like to thank the Panther Posse and the following diamond sponsors for supporting Navarro ISD and this broadcast: Aaron's Dock and Marine Construction, Advanced Electrical Services, AFC Lease Service, Ameritex Pipe, Bar J Granite, Big League Car Wash, Black Castle Industrial Contracting, Birch Law Firm, CO Concrete, CEMEX, Claycomb Associates, Architects, Clausen and Winters LLC, D&D Texas Outfitters, Ingersoll, First Commercial Bank, First United Bank, Seguin, Fryheit Country Store, Fagway Construction, Goldsco Concrete, Guadalupe County Farm Bureau Insurance, Guadalupe Regional Medical Center or Construction, Kirby's Corner, Luland Chevrolet Buick GMC. And then Micah Reynolds, Miller & Miller Insurance, Miss Tristan Foundation, Oakwell Private Wealth Management, Pecan Country Chiropractic, Perry Homes, Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, Redbird Construction, Rocket Aircraft Services, Sage Energy, Sign Crafters Incorporated, Summit Group, Texas Capital Bank, Texas Tractor Country, TKG Custom Homes, TMT Solutions, Mandrill Energy, Vendetta AC. And a special thanks to Monticello Art Film Design for the production of this broadcast. Go Panthers!
Okay, we're back. Hank, I think for the first time in a long time, the player of the game is going to go to an opposing player, but man,
Yeah.
this is not undeserved.
Yeah, it's definitely not. You go ahead and
Uh,
make the announcement.
Yeah, the Navasota Rattlers, number 11, he's a senior, DeAndre Scott. I'm pretty sure that he had at halftime 175 yards, but he well pushed over 200 and made the Panthers pay
Right.
in a bad way tonight. But good for him. They've got a lot of talent here, and we wish them well in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be following him now. When
Yeah.
you see a team like that and you meet a team like that, you want to see how they pan out, for the rest of the season. And I think they made a statement tonight against a preseason polled, the number 10 team, the Navarro Panthers, coming into this in 4A Division II. And so, Navasota had a bit of a chip on their shoulder, and it showed. I mean,
Boy,
they
did.
were the aggressor tonight, and
Boy, it
so
did.
when that happens,
Yeah.
bad things happen to the other teams, and I think the Panthers, sometimes you just, it's just not your night, and I think that's the other side of it for the Panthers. It just wasn't their night. It wasn't. They couldn't get the little things done. Getting that 3 yards, they were behind the chains quite a bit, had the false starts. Just could not make the big games.
Right.
Yeah.
Even when we had an opportunity right there at the start of the third quarter,
Right.
where we got the ball on the Navasota 38-yard line, we just couldn't get any momentum. There was a fumble on the far sideline over there that didn't bounce our way.
Right.
It just, I think you said it best. It just wasn't our night. And the other thing I'll say is speed kills, right?
Yeah, I mean, and we know that for a fact. And I do have a final on a game, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit here, Lance.
Let's do.
Let's see. Marion Bulldogs, down the road from us in Guadalupe County, 21-20 over the Hondo Owls. I mean, what a game.
What a barn burner.
And look at Seguin leading Alamo Heights. Again, Alamo Heights has some of their players suspended, and it's 42-32 with 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And then you had, Llano finally starting to pull away from Gerald Cougars at 41-26. And then Austin Eastside has the program again, and Maynard New Tech took advantage of that with 46-8, and that shows at halftime. So I'm assuming they went to halftime and they made shut down that game. I'm not sure. But then Austin Achieve loses to Austin Hyde Park Baptist 56-0, which Austin Achieve is one of our district foes.
Yes, they are.
So that's kind of a roundup for the area and some of the district foes that we have. And Lago Vista, I don't know if I mentioned Lago Vista, but that game was showing up as well.
with them losing 43-28 to Cameron Yo. So, um, and Lance, I see that Cuero just pulled away
Just
43-14 over the Ricebirds, El Campo Ricebirds.
so what does that tell me? That tells me, and let's get into a little bit for next week, and then we can get on with our night, right? But
Right.
Cuero, and I've watched Cuero a bunch and knew it coming into the season. Cuero has got a nasty, nasty defense, and I think that's holding true tonight, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they are facing a D1 prospect at running back with El Campo. Um,
Yeah.
I his name's coming. Yeah, I can't
It
recall
is.
his name right now, right this second. But he is a stud, guys, and so if they're shutting him down, then we're gonna have our hands
Panthers
full.
need to be ready.
We need to
That's
be
right.
ready next week. So,
Well,
and
Lance. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say it's at Cuero next week. You guys come out, support us down in Cuero with the Gobblers.
Yeah. Just because we stream the games doesn't mean we don't want you there. We'd rather have the crowds in the stands and not the crowds in the, online.
That's right. That's right. But
Well, now, Lance, we got Scott Kibbe made it all the way over from the other side. And I mean, he has some stats, but I don't think on the Panther side it changed a whole lot. But we'll see what he has. So Scott Kibbe's joining us. Scott Kibbe, our statistician and historian for the Navarro Panthers. So what do you have for us, Scott?
All right. Well, yeah, not a lot of good stuff for the Panthers. Line on the night: 14 first downs, 52 rushes for 248 yards, 64 passing yards on 3 out of 9. The 3 punts for 31 yards, 2 fumbles, not lose any. I guess if we take one positive away, the Panthers did not turn the ball over tonight. 8 penalties for 40 yards and 5 return yards. Leading rushers, Chapa did go over 100 yards for the night, 20 carries for 103. Null 5 for 54. On the Navasota side, 12 first downs and
12.
I've missed my number here for what they had for total rushing yards, but 42 passing yards on 4 of 9, 3 punts for 33 yards, 3 fumbles, not lose any, 12 penalties for 98 yards. A lot of those personal foul calls,
Right.
really
Didn't hurt him tonight as much.
Those very easily. The leading rusher, this is key stat of the night. Leading rusher Scott, 10 carries, 225 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then Taylor 7 for 94, 2 touchdowns. Couple of bad marks tonight. That's 3 opening game losses in a row for the Panthers, and is also their worst loss in an opening game, most lopsided loss in an opening game since 1997.
1997, and what was that score if you have it?
That was 54-6. Those were the bad old days before it all turned the next year in '98.
okay.
All right. Well, and Scott, real quick, I have a question for you. All right. Is it that, I mean, and it's too early to tell, so I'm not putting you on the spot, but we can speculate and we can, theorize. We can do all those things because we're fans of the game and we're not the kids. We're trying not to get into students or the players' heads. So let me ask you this. Was it that Navasota you think is really that good? Or do you think the Panthers just it wasn't a Panther team would like to see? Because I by no means, I don't think the Panther team's bad at all. I'm not going to ever say that. And I believe that. But I think, your answer is going to be what I'm thinking right now. So you go ahead and tell me before I say.
I think first season openers are hard. They're just trying to get their guys out there, and you don't know what you're going to get. There have been times, think about 2012 when the Panthers did very badly in an opener at Antonian and went on to have a great year. But yeah, there's going to have to be some soul searching. Yeah, Navasota's got some great athletes. They're going to be a force. But
for sure,
you can't ever play like this.
Right.
You can't lose to teams like this, especially on defense. I would think they're going to be. I think they're going to be calling on their pride all this week for what not getting caught like that. The Case Monroe injury early certainly a factor, but
right. And we didn't even discuss that much even throughout the game because we didn't call his number much at all tonight, and that was the reason for it. But we don't sit there and tell the whole audience who's coming in, who's coming out all the time because some of those things are, hey, we don't know if they're coming back or when they're coming back or if they're how bad they're injured or any of that. But we know he didn't come back, so that's a key factor. But we didn't see the physicality, I think, of the defense, and I really think that Navasota is going to be that good. I really think as you see them progress, I think the receivers blocked a lot better than anticipated.
Yeah.
I think the receivers on the outside was what gave some of the running backs the ability to bob and weave, so to speak, and be able to get to the outside.
But it was disappointing. I guess you don't know what Navasota
Right.
can do under pressure because they never had it.
Right.
They could win this one on talent, and that's what they did. And that's
Yeah.
a big stat to point out for Navarro. 7 false starts.
We
Right.
talked a little
That
bit
is-
about the
it
false
is
start,
just
clean those up.
Yeah, opener. Oh, that happens in opener. Things happen, but you couldn't afford it tonight. So there'll be some soul searching, but we've seen this team bounce back before.
Yeah.
They have a big task next
Right.
week, but they have not lost 2 in a row since 2007. We'll
Right.
see if that can continue.
And since Cavazos been the defensive coordinator, I don't really remember a game like this that he was his defense didn't step up and make some real key stops. This is one of those that normally we make some of those stops or create those turnovers, but tonight we didn't see that, and that just seems odd for me to see that from a Cavazos led defense.
I would say even the the 2 Wimberley playoff losses, they were ugly, really.
Right,
games.
right,
The
but
defense had a point where the offense could have gotten back in the game.
Right.
They gave them a chance and just they couldn't capitalize. Think of the Alamo Dome and getting stuck at
Sure.
the 1-yard line.
Right.
But
that we really scored, but they didn't let us. Okay,
yeah, I
go
agree
ahead.
with that. I agree with that too. But it just
They being the officials. I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
but they're just going to have to. I think it's going to be a tough week.
Right.
Compared to Vero Panther
Right.
on either side of the ball.
I agree with you, Scott. So predictions next week with Quero just really beating down the Ricebergs. Or what? Let me put it this way: what would you like to see from the Panthers next week? Even if we come in with, I'm sure we won't come in this way. We won't be this slow. Or I mean, it just seemed like we weren't up to speed today. On defense, especially. So, what do you see for us next week?
Much more physicality. You've
Okay.
got to have much more, and I think that's what the coaches will emphasize. You against Quero, if especially looking at what they did to El Campo tonight, it can be a lot worse if you don't step that up. So that's number one.
All right.
And then I think they're going to be looking at personnel and kind of who's healthy. A lot of guys went down tonight.
Right.
And so who's going to be able to step up? Are we going to see some freshmen next week?
Right.
It'll be very soon.
Right. And that's a pretty good freshman group from what I've heard. So we'll see how things pan out. I'm with the Panthers, the way the style of the offense and the physicality that they usually show, I've never seen a Panther team that I think went blah for 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, they usually come back fired up, and and Quero is the perfect game to do it. If you're going to do it at any game, that's the game to do it. And let's get behind these players and let's get them fired up and let's go beat some gobblers.
Let's
next
go
week.
beat some gobblers.
We sneak up on them because
Let's have Thanksgiving early, please.
Yes.
This is too proud of a program.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
to come back, bounce back better next week.
All right, Scott. Well, appreciate you coming over and taking the time to give us the stats. And again, for everybody out there, we'd like to make sure they know that they can get your articles, your insights, your interviews, and all that with the Seguin Gazette Enterprise. You're also, they can see that on Facebook to a certain degree. But we see your articles on, and especially this Sunday, about the Panthers and all. So, Scott, thank you very much. And I know you got to run because you got to go catch Coach. So, thank you. And Lance, well, final thoughts from you. What do you think?
Well, we talked about getting turnovers, and we didn't get one turnover all night, did we?
No.
And Scott talked a lot about physicality, and it really, the game's not real hard. It boils down to blocking, tackling,
Right.
and
Yeah, there you go.
and we didn't do a real good job of that tonight. But we've got a bunch more chances in the future, and we're going to be back on the field next Friday night, and I think he said it best. It's going to be a soul searching week for our Panthers, and I'm pretty sure they'll come out fighting like they always do.
Yeah, 41-14 is the final here tonight, and that's disheartening to a certain degree, yes, but it's early in the season.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be now than, your last game of the season and being,
Yes.
blown out in a playoff game that takes you out, especially if you're going deep in the playoffs. So things could be fixed. It's a long season.
Correct.
And, that's where I stand is I think that there's a lot of learning that can take place. Even for, you just hate to lose. I mean, everybody does. But if you learn from them, then that's the difference. If you don't learn from them, obviously, you're gonna get stuck in that rut. And so we want you to learn from this. We want we want them to come out fired up next week and take on Cuero and be competitive and have a good chance of winning that game. So I'll never give up on the Panthers. I never have, and so we'll see how this turns out.
What's the old adage? Most football teams get better between week 1 and week 2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we're going to see hopefully that next Friday night.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, that's our broadcast for this evening, and we need to again thank our diamond sponsors from the Panther Posse and the Panther Posse themselves for helping put this together. Clay Scarborough being the sponsor. He's the high school principal there at Navarro, and he's been so gracious to help out with the audiovisual club getting started, and so we appreciate that as well. And all the students out there that are staying late with us, waiting for us to hurry up and get off the air so we can get things going. So Lance, and it's been a pleasure working with you tonight. We look forward to Cuero next week, and we'll see what we can do. And like I said, I never give up on the Panthers. We'll just have to keep out there, get out there, and do some soul searching and go from there.
Thank you, Hank. Appreciate you and appreciate the students tonight for helping us out and the club. And we will come out to see us in Cuero next Friday night.
All right. Well, Lance, I'm going to go ahead and close this thing out if you don't mind. And again, the final score here in Navasota, Texas is 41 Navasota, and the Panthers fall with 14 points. So, all right, there you have it. You're watching the Navarro Panther football on this Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse. So we're going to let the break roll here for the sponsors. The Navarro Panther Network would like to thank the Panther Posse and the following diamond sponsors for supporting Navarro ISD and this broadcast: Aaron's Dock and Marine Construction, Advanced Electrical Services, AFC Lease Service, Ameritex Pipe, Bar J Granite, Big League Car Wash, Black Castle Industrial Contracting, Birch Law Firm, CO Concrete, CEMEX, Claycomb Associates Architects, Clausen and Winters LLC, D&D Texas Outfitters, Intersol, First Commercial Bank, First United Bank, Seguin, Fryheit Country Store, Fagway Construction, Goldsco Concrete, Guadalupe County Farm Bureau Insurance, Guadalupe Regional Medical Center or Construction, Kirby's Corner, Luland Chevrolet Buick GMC, and then Micah Reynolds, Miller & Miller Insurance, Miss Tristan Foundation, Oakwell Private Wealth Management, Pecan Country Chiropractic, Perry Homes, Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, Redbird Construction, Rocket Aircraft Services, Sage Energy, Sign Crafters Incorporated, Summit Group, Texas Capital Bank, Texas Tractor Country, TKG Custom Homes, TMT Solutions, Mandrill Energy, Vendetta AC. And a special thanks to Monticello Art Film Design for the production of this broadcast. Go Panthers!